Bum, ba, bum, bum. Hey, what's up, everyone? RT Bear here. 40 years in this wild and wacky industry that we know and love, which is comic books. I am coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios, and we got a doozy of a show for you guys tonight. We got, oh my gosh, I just had Thai food, woohoo! And so we're gonna party a bit, and I got my brewski, my one brewski. So if you guys got them, crack some open, and oh my gosh, this thing just fizzed up, and we'll get crazy tonight. And the one thing I want to do is let you guys know there are two really amazing campaigns. It's the Superiors by Clint Helinski. He's brilliant. He has done many Comicsgate titles, and has done very well for himself and for the people that are working with him. And we also have Rob Hunter, who is a brilliant talent, and he's got Death Raider. This is his foray into storytelling, and he's primarily an inker, and I know what that's like to try to shift over to other things. So he's a brave man. He's here at Comicsgate now, and that means a lot. So I hope everybody's doing well. This is a Saturday night, so we usually don't do Pontificators on a Saturday night. But the last 2 weeks, I haven't been able to do a show. So this will be good. This will be fun, man. So we're doing something different here. Oh man, we got a full house here. We got Rob Hunter. Weird. There must be another Rob Hunter because he's on the show as well. We got Mark. What's up? We got B.A. Turner. Sign up for what is that? Vigilantes Creed on Indiegogo. Yeah, do that. Randy Howell, Hail Pontiffs. I just shared this stream on Twitter. Thank you, and everybody. Follow Randy's lead if you can, because we're going to promote some books. We're going to try to get some eyes on it, get some backers. And it's going to be a fun night indeed. So we got Leg Kick 1. Hello. Survive Infinity 0088. Hail Art. What's up, man? Comic. What is that? Comic 1. It's kind of Comic 1 book. Comic. I don't know how to say that. It's weird. You got a letter in there, a number in with your letters. That's really cool looking, but it's confusing for a boomer like myself. Hell T Bear, what's up? Ruby J, ooh, cool name. Hail, man, you guys are heating it up here in the chat. We got Marcus Killigrew, Hell Art. Let's see what Randy has to say. Oh, and this is very interactive, you guys. So feel free to be part of the show. Ask us questions, especially ask Chris Wozniak questions. He loves to answer questions, especially about like science and the mysteries of life itself. He's got all the answers, man. I've never seen anybody that could answer any question thrown at him. Randy says, "Damn straight, you're going to party tonight. I see a bottle of vodka." No vodka tonight. That's my emergency vodka, just in case things get out of control and I need to kind of mellow it out. Let's see. Also, Bruce the Badass, Book 2 by Donald DeLay. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Where are we? We got Repairman Jack. What is that? MB Bonner or Boner? Wait a minute, Rob. You're not supposed to talk in the chat. When you're on the show, you're starting to do the Clint Helinski thing. And please hit that like button. It does help. And this is hell yeah. Okay, well, let's get this guy on first, since he can't. He doesn't need permission, man. He's just gonna rush in here no matter what. So brilliant talent. Comics. This is amazing, you guys. There are so many really gifted people that have given their all to this industry, And Rob Hunter is one of those guys. Has been there, worked on many titles for DC and Marvel. Like I said, mainly as an inker, but he's not just an inker, man. He's a stylist. When he comes on a project, it becomes something other than the way it started, and I mean that in the best of ways. So he's got Death Raider, and he is going to be ending that very, very soon. So let's get Mr. Rob Hunter in here. Mr. Rob Hunter, what's up?
Dude, not much.
Are you a winner?
Besides, I am a winner. I feel like a winner. Dude, I wake up. I wear the shirt. I've got 7 of them. I wake up in the morning and I put this on and I just jump right out of bed.
You have to remind yourself what you are, because sometimes you forget. To
be honest, sometimes life will weigh on you, and then I always have to remind myself. I just look in the mirror and go, "That's right, winner.
That's right.
That's right.
Rob Hunter's
keep
a winner.
Winning. Keep winning."
Well, we're gonna win tonight, man. Death Raider is doing very, very well, and you're gonna be closing out. Is it tomorrow night?
Yeah, technically it is tomorrow night. What's that? 3 a.m. Indiegogo Sunday. But I didn't want to put any pressure on trying to live stream on a Sunday night. And just the way this all worked out, I'm like, okay, Saturday is a cool night for, to do like the official closeout and just go for it.
Well, I'm glad that we could help you along with that, the Pontificators. So I got some of my brothers in here. Also, reason for the season, we got the Superiors. We got Mr. Clint Helinski. Brilliant talent, has fulfilled the hell out of these projects, and just a really gifted talent. I do want to say one more thing before you get into the whole rock thing, Clint. I know these intros are long. I was thinking about this, like, your adaptability is second to none, man. Like, you can take a style and it's not okay. You can do it maybe a one-off, right? Or you can do maybe 2 illustrations, but you do an entire project like in that style, and that's not easy to do. And I just want to say, hats off.
At some point, I'm going to do Alan Davis.
Ooh.
Like, of all the styles that I can do, Alan Davis is my best, and I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to. I love Alan Davis through and through, and like, I do my J. Scott Campbell and my Jim Lee knockoffs, and it's maybe 60, 70, 80% sometimes on a good day. I can nail Alan Davis.
Oh, and Alan Davis he's like a major talent.
Alan Davis, yeah. These are the guys that I love and I've studied, and for whatever reason, and I don't know why I haven't done one of the books in this style yet, but I, like, that's what I always. It's a good thing, and also probably the thing that's held me back is I can't stick to one style. I'm influenced by all these guys, and like it probably hurt my career with editors, because like I literally show them different styles in my portfolio, and an editor can't wrap their brain around that, and it's.
At some point, this is what I'm doing right now, Clint, because I'm just like, I've worked in so many different styles, is just kind of throw it all out. Don't have a conscious thought about it, and just start, like in your sketchbooks and your drawings, just start drawing. Start inking and drawing, and then what's going to come out is all those influences are going to just mesh into, a new style. I mean, if you think about the Beatles, they were doing cover tunes and stuff like that, and they kind of, did enough of that, got those influences down, and then just kind of started bringing them into like some kind of shaker, shaking them all up. And then what came out of it is something completely original. So I'm still waiting for that. You're still untapped, my friend.
I'm still dicking around over here. I'm still finding myself.
No, that's all good, man.
The thing is, I'm having fun doing it. That's the thing, is if I'm having fun doing whatever I'm doing, even if I'm aping a style a little bit here or there, doing homages, like I'll hear a comment or two of somebody complaining. It's like, I don't care. I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing. So
yeah, definitely. Thank you, JG. Much love right back at you. Well, you know what? This guy, I remember when he came over to DC and I was working on the Superman books, and Mike Carlin was like, oh, you got to see this guy's work. You got to see this guy's work. And I'm like, oh yeah. You hear this all the time, right? And so he showed me some of Chris Wozniak's work, and I was like, okay, all right. This guy's a badass. So Chris he's got some legal stuff going on now, but he's also got a Penelope Powerhouse that he's going to drop on us at some point. So without further ado, let's get Chris Wozniak in here. What's up, Chris? Cheers, brother.
The drinks are full.
Saturday night now, you got me doing this. Unfucking real.
Yeah, there was a time, right, where Saturday night meant something different than hanging out with a bunch of
talking about comics on the internet.
Nerds.
Well, you know what, Chris?
Rob, you got to do that desk pop, man. You haven't done a desk pop. We've all done. Desk pop. Everybody.
Okay. Well, I kind of feel weird. I haven't done one on live stream.
We've all done a desk pop live on the air. If you get your Glock and do a desk pop. I mean, you got to celebrate.
Wait, everyone's done pistol? Well,
We've all done it live on the. Every single person has done. Every pontificator has done a desk pop. Live while streaming. You got to do your desk pop.
Well, I have to one up you then. I gotta do it with a AR-15 suppressed, right? Right?
Sure.
Well, I think
I gotta do that.
I think Chris is giving you some bad advice here, but the thing is, let's just put a dollar amount onto that show there that Chris is trying to get you to do, and if we get it, let's say if we can get Deth rated to 50K tonight,
it'll be a death spot.
Rob will do some crazy ass shit.
Yeah, I would.
All right, man. Well, we got a new guy in here, man. I live streamed with this guy. I had such a blast hanging out with him, and he's got a project too that he'll tell you about. I hate myself. I can't remember the name. I just remember it's a frog with like a killer like twirling mustache. But he's a lot of fun to hang out with. He's new to Pontificators. Maybe this won't be his last appearance on Pontificators. But we got the man known as Jason Question. How you doing?
You're thinking of Frog G, my friend. Frog G.
Frog G, thank you.
Yeah. We with Ink Spots and we got Frog G, but I also did the trade. I'm doing the trade right now of my first two books, Absolute. So that's what I'm also. So I got two campaigns out there right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
nice. Dude. Well, you guys make sure you have. I got my cab for Superiors and Deth Raider, but I don't have Jason's, and I don't have Frog G, and I don't have yours, Chris.
Frog G was shadow banned after the first month of it being live. Yeah. So yeah, dude.
Welcome to my world.
It was, dude. We were one of the first few that actually got hit. We didn't know why, because it's almost an all ages book. Everyone online was like, "What?" I even told Shane about it. He's like, "Why is Frog G shadow banned?" Like he was even shocked. So,
dude, I've been drawing like titty comics for the last 3 years. They never touched me. The second I did like a straightforward superhero comic, it's like shadow banned from the launch. I don't know who's got a wrench in the chat, but yeah, you're gonna need to have a direct link to get to Superiors because you can't. Mm-hmm. You can't search it and you can't find it in the comic section on Indie.
Well, I'll do the comic book Bob thing and I'll pop it into the chat. But yeah, if anybody has a link, could you do the same?
Yeah, the Absolute trade is searchable though. You just type in Absolute, it should come up quickly. So yeah, that's that. I don't know why I never got shadow banned during those two campaigns, and then the trade has 2 weeks left. So we're funding right now. So yeah.
How far along are you?
38%. It's a second chance campaign, so it's fine. I could always go on, like, if it doesn't fund, I'm not going to cry. Frog G's my baby right now. That's what I'm mainly working on. I was just working on a page, actually, before I came on here. So,
dude, I love your, I'm going to say scribbles, but I mean that with all my heart.
I'm heavily...
Posting, just know, you guys, go to Facebook. Jason posts these brilliant freaking drawings. Like,
thanks, man.
You are way outside the box. I love your stuff. To me, it's inspired.
Heavily influenced by Sam Keith, Jonathan Wayshack, a little bit of McFarlane. Like, I even have a Sam Keith homage cover for my second book.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah, so Yeah, I'm big into those guys, so I really like that out there style. You know, it just it gives it energy, and it's just a lot of fun.
Did Sam Keith just kill it in the day, and now he's just like comfortably retired somewhere? Like did he just kill it like in the '90s? Because boy, I haven't seen Sam Keith in 30 years.
Last
I
thing he
haven't heard a
did
hint
that
of him.
I know of was the Max Batman crossover, Silent Arkham
Yeah.
Knights.
Was that like early 2000s maybe or something?
No, that was like 2.5 years ago, maybe
Oh,
three.
okay. I missed
Yeah,
that.
very
I didn't
recent.
catch that on my radar. Then I missed that.
Yeah.
How well did his MTV Max show do? I mean, do you think he's maybe got some FU money from the MTV years?
I don't think
Even
he's got
Steve.
FU money, but he's definitely comfortable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As to where he could just, like, because DC will hire him or whoever will hire him, and they just give him, like, do what you want, dude. Like, and that's why his books come out. Like, what, the Batman Max crossover one, issue 4 took, like, 7 months to get out.
Yeah.
Because it's Sam Keith. They know he's going to deliver a banger. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you're gonna do it that way.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Get the best guy and let him take his time.
Yeah, so like a lot of my stuff is influenced by that, so that's why you see that scratchiness. Plus, I have what's called retinitis pigmentosa, so I'm partially blind, and I'm gonna be I might go fully blind, I don't know, but I can't see that well. So that's why when it's scratchy, because I can't really see that the lines are off a little bit. So it accidentally gives it a great flavor.
Are you're inking everything traditionally?
Because if it's a comic page, I lay it out digitally. Like it looks like a coloring book almost. Like there's no detail in it at all. So I'll do like that outline, and then I'll print it up and ink it digitally or ink it traditionally with either a micron or a pen and ink nib.
Yep.
All depending on the sequence. If it's an action sequence, I go pen and ink. That way I can get splatters and grit and just flavor to it. And then if it's the talking heads, I can work a lot faster with a micron. You know, and it'll take me like maybe 3 hours to do a page, but.
Do you use many different micron tips, or do you just have like one overall that basically does everything you want it to do?
I'm a 0.05 guy. I really
0.05 and 0.1.
Yeah,
you can cover a lot of bases.
A lot of bases with that. Yeah. So in like since I go over lines like crazy anyway, the 0.05 it's a perfect pen, and I can.
And then if you got a deadline, just 0.05 and 0.1, and then scan it, and then just drop in the blacks in Photoshop. You know, don't be filling shit in. Rob's.
Like what I do sometimes when I'm pushing a deadline, or what I'm trying to work a lot faster now, is I go with I don't know, whatever the thick. It's one of the thicker tips, the microns, and I just go to town. Like I'm doing stuff. I'm doing stuff that I would usually use a thinner, line weight on, but I'm using that same thickness on everything. And I'm finding that I'm getting way more flow because I think I just have such a feel from inking all the years that I can even do like hatching and feather hatching, like pullouts and stuff like that with the thicker, where I have to kind of draw it in if I have a thinner pin. But if I have that thicker one, I can kind of just do pullouts, with that same.
Like they're not brushes, but microns kick ass in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The only thing I hate about them is they pull up. They pull up when you erase, and so when I go into Photoshop, when I scan them and I bring them into Photoshop, I kind of gotta play with the line, because sometimes if you erase too much, or even if you put your hand over them, it's kind of like they'll gray out. If you use the traditional, ink Pelican or Higgins or whatever, it usually is way more durable. And
I use the P.H. Martin's Black Star matte whenever I ink. And but the thing is, I don't pencil anything after I print. I just print it and then I go in with detail. I don't even pencil anything, so I don't have to worry about erasing over it and fading out any of the lines. So it's kind of works. Yeah.
This wouldn't work for original art, but what I was doing is I was penciling, and then I was putting down the paper and then light boxing it and inking just on clean paper with microns so that I never had to erase.
Yeah, that works too.
I tried to do that, but there's kind of like there's a distance between the board and the pin, like the light box and the pin. Yeah. And sometimes it's enough to misregister where you put the line. Yeah. So what ends up happening is, like, this is an inker rule. Anybody who's listening, once you put that line down, you stay with that line.
Yeah.
Like if it's off from the pencils, you stay with the inks. You don't try to get it back. And if you do, you're just going to be a psycho and whiten shit out constantly.
Well, and that's the digital crutch. Is like Dan Plagle. He'll even see people ink. He'll see me do it digitally. Like I'll do stuff and I'll erase the same line 5 times because it's a fraction of a hair off. But when you're going traditional, just forget about it. Like you're committed. Like you're that line's down. So
that's why I love digital.
I always say this, and I'm going to patent this saying, okay, writing and penciling are a process. There's you write a line and you don't like it, you backspace it, and then you do it again, right? So it's a constant like write and rewrite. So that's writing. Penciling, there's an eraser involved. You know what I mean? So just by the sheer nature, you draw something, you don't like it, you erase it. But inking is a performance. My dog is but inking is a performance. So inking is like you're in that moment. There's no erasing. There's no going back on it. So whatever that line is that you threw down, that's the performance. That's what you go with. You don't erase it and you don't go back on it, especially if you want to make a deadline.
Yeah, here you go. Like, I mean, I like to use like the Posca pens and then go over it and do action lines or like, weird funky stuff and, just get in there and give it some sequence and movement, so... you can white out stuff, but if you use your white correctly, you can even add to it rather than take away. So it's a lot of fun.
You're using the white for effects. You're not using it for like, you mistakenly drew a line. And so you're trying to.
Very rarely will I, just because I'm like, it's in there. I'll work with the mistake, and I think if you work with the mistake, it actually adds to some character to the piece.
That's why you do it. Yeah. It has that spontaneity.
Yeah. Art Ethan's in the chat if you wanted to throw him a link or
sure. Let me get this. Randy Howe for $220. Do you need a wrench to post links like Jason's? Hey Jason, in the private chat, give me your link and I'll start posting it up.
Yeah, I'll get you some links, man.
Hey Ethan, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but if you want to come in, I'll send a link.
He's got opinions on microns and Copic multiliners.
And
that's right where we're all talking about.
His Copic work is insane. Those fine liners, I don't know how he uses those, man. They break on me.
Yeah,
we're going deep down like the inker talk right now.
They bend big time.
They bend, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They bend over.
Mm-hmm. Bend over.
The inker
that's winter talk right there.
Which pens and brushes bend over?
Oh yeah.
But well, hey, let's let everybody know why we're here and the reason for the season. So let's start with Mr. Rob Hunter, and show off his campaign here. So I'm going to present myself to you guys by clicking this button, this button, and then this
Click
button.
Away.
All right. So here's my presentation. Yeah, this is the Deth Raider graphic novel by Rob Hunter. Fast-paced sci-fi action adventure origin story launching the Deathverse with Deth Raider #1. So this is, like I said, man, just legendary Rob Hunter. He's paid his dues. He's at 13,946. I think we can do better than that. 301 backers. He is going to be closing this campaign out tomorrow night. So he's hoping to get some last-minute love, some last-minute backers. So let me see. I'm going to play the video. Sometimes I have a problem with sound. So if there's no sound, you guys let me know.
Okay. Good sound.
Okay, cool.
That seems about right. Your video's awesome.
Yeah.
That's everybody's favorite Jimmy Reyes.
Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good, man.
You're almost at 14, man.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I
a
passed
backer
300.
away from 14. And
I know.
We could do
we
it
got
tonight.
46 people in the chat.
So close.
We
if
could do
you
it
guys,
tonight.
if anybody in the chat has not checked out Death Raider, do yourself a favor and at least go look at Rob's page. Take a look through his rewards. He's got some awesome books, variants, artwork, just amazing stuff. So definitely go take a look at it.
Well, I got something to show you if you guys are on the fence. This piece right here.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's epic.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's an epic
Everybody's
character
favorite.
design.
Oh.
That has so
Thank
much
you.
work on it. Looks, remember Scratchboard?
Mhm.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
Jesus Christ. It's like,
that's
wow.
what it looks like. Some of the white on
Yeah.
there.
Scratchboard is when you take it's a board that's covered in ink already, and you use this like stylus to scratch away the white bits.
Yeah, an X-Acto pen
Mostly
or-
black drawing, but
Yeah,
wow.
X-Acto knife or even eraser would work on a scratch board. You erase it to get the grays. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
however Rob's doing this, he's doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, it's insanity, man.
I-
It's sick.
You can see in the figure how I kind of hitting that middle ground with the markers, the gray markers, so I'm not going, full retard on it. But then I went into
I
the
think you
background and then I started looking at photos to, kind of do some photo reference in the background with some of the tech stuff. And I was just like, oh, I promised myself I wouldn't do that. And I still had to do it. It's funny. Art talks about what he calls inking as a performance. And after like 27 years as an inker, I see it as like I'm sculpting. Even though I put the pencils down, I put down the gray tone. When I get to the inks, I feel like I'm sculpting. And then that last thing is the whiteout, which, man, sometimes I'm a little shocked myself how long I'll spend just doing like some of the whiteout effects and stuff. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like you have to stop. And then I'll come back. I'm like, I'm done. And the next day I'll come back to it and go, oh, I could do a couple of these things here and there. And it's just like, I do get a little, I don't know, just I kind of go down the gimmicky path a little bit with the writing.
Well, you know what it is it's like you want it to be the best it can possibly be.
It's
And
true. It's
I
true.
remember when I broke into the business and, you share studio space, you hang out with your artist friends. And I think it was Mark Basilla actually said, he goes, you know what? You're not getting paid for all this work you're doing. And I'm like, I go, what do you mean? He goes,
That's a veteran comment right there.
yeah, he
Yeah.
goes, you're working too hard. You're putting all this work and detail into it. And he goes, why do you do that? And I said, because I don't know any other way to do it.
You don't get paid by the line. It's like David Mazzucchelli getting paid page rate you're getting. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just can't really remove myself from the process, which sounds like it's what Rob is as well. Like you're just kind of you're just locked into it, and you just want to make it the best it can possibly be. So every idea that you have, every line, every detail, you want to make sure it gets into the piece. And I think that's why you get stuff like this. Like this isn't for the faint. This isn't for the paycheck guy that just wants to get in and get out. This is dedication, man.
Yeah, this
Well,
has a Geigerish feel to it. I love it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to, because I know coming into Comicsgate that I was brand new, and I was brand new to YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff. I really just wanted to. Honestly, I don't know how much live streaming and YouTubing I can handle. Like, I think I've done a lot of live streaming. So I do kind of want the artwork to kind of coast a lot of the project. I know that's probably like the exact opposite of what everybody keeps telling me. I will have to find that happy medium, but I really want to be like, oh, hey, that's Rob. We haven't seen him in 2 weeks. He's the nut working on the pages over too long. And hopefully that will come across if I've been here for a while at Comicsgate for a couple of years. They'll just realize, like, yeah, he hasn't put up a video because he's gone mental on the pages, but we backed his book anyways because we know all the work that'll go into the book. So.
And you have just been here a short time, so
Mhm.
it takes time to like get your feel of everything, because it's a totally different way of working. It's a totally different, like it's not the big two at all. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like you're jumping out of the plane and you're making sure your parachute is on as you're falling. You know, it's a whole different animal, but it is awesome. And the thing is like my first campaigns, like everything that I did got better, bigger audience as I went on, as I like figured things out, as I made like this is a community. Like you get to know like the people on Twitter, like you'll see the people that are like liking your tweets and you'll like talk with them, and that's kind of what I love about this. It's like an ongoing comic book convention.
Yeah, and I'm recognizing people in the chat.
Yeah,
exactly. A couple of months ago, chat would just kind of zip by or whatever, and
like I always say, like your Twitter page and your YouTube page are like your table at the convention, and this is it's a 24/7 comic book convention. All these people love comics; they're all hardcore fans, and like when you're talking with them on Twitter, when they're showing up in YouTube in the chat, that's you sitting at the table talking about your book, talking about what comics you like. It's just a nonstop internet comic book convention.
Oh, I don't have fun on pages. I put the rage into my pages. Yeah? I mean, that's when Art's screaming. That's what I'm putting into every page. There's no screaming on the page. It is the page.
It is the page. Well, you know what, Rob? Like you said something that that hit home when I started doing more independent projects and things like that. When I first started with Kickstarter, and then I was before CG, and I was like, this is I know you have to advertise, but I just didn't really have like how. You know what I mean? So you use up your Facebook, and that's good for a week, and then you burn everything out, and then you go to Twitter and you blow through that. And then about halfway through the campaign, you're like, you just hit the wall. Right. And then I was also like, well, how much do I promote? Because then you're thinking like, well, if I promote too much, I'm going to burn people out. They're going to be sick of listening to me and stuff like that. But then you realize that at some point, that is old. We've all been working in Marvel, DC. We never promoted our own stuff before. It was always the company. And so one thing to remember, like doing this, or what was the revelation for me, was that it's all promotion, and you need to find that vehicle that you can constantly do that. And I always had a YouTube. Well, not always, but I had it for a while. But I never really did much. I'd post videos and stuff like that of me at conventions drawing and things like that. Mm-hmm. But then when Comicsgate came out, and Richard and Ethan Van Sciver and stuff like that, I mean, and then I was also a fan of Adam Carolla. And I remember Adam, when he first started, he called building the pirate ship, and doing the podcasting. I realized like that's the platform. That's like your TV, like you're like NBC or ABC or whatever. And so that's your platform. And then the platform is like, you can advertise, you can entertain, you can talk directly to people. And that is, it was overwhelming for me at first. But then once I got into it, I was like, this is great, man. We're talking directly to people that love, the comic books. They're into this stuff. And you're talking and you're marketing right to them. And I'll tell you, this is the best time to be doing comic books, because this never existed before. So Rob, like, take full advantage of it, man. And you know what? Rob, you're a funny ass guy, man. You just need to start talking, man, because I love hanging out with you.
Your live streaming gets addictive. It really does. You're like, I could go live and work on a page and talk to everybody. Why not? It's fun.
I just got to figure out a couple people to do like a show with on a regular basis. Like, that's because I honestly, I get, when I do my own stuff, my own YouTube videos, I'm a negative bastard. So, I mean, I really kind of, tear apart Marvel or DC, and I'm just like, I'll get done with it and be like, it's really not what I wanted. It's really not the kind of YouTube video I want to put out, or I just want to
spiral down into a black hole. Rob's just like,
you know what? That's your show. Call it.
He's just like hugging himself,
spiraling down.
The black hole.
The end of every Rob show, he's just hugging himself, rocking back and forth.
Blanket wrapped around
The
him.
world is a nightmare.
Wait a minute, Chris. Did you do the news thing?
Yeah.
Drinking.
I gotta see
Doing
goodbye.
Star Steaks,
Cursing out Marvel editors.
I stand on the chair and then I turn it off.
All
right, guys. Maybe I'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week. Maybe.
I don't know if I'm more fortunate in that regard than not working at all with anyone. I just write into CG. You know what I mean? Like I've been, working with friends and stuff, but I never worked with the big two. I never did any publishing up until this. Like I was with Frege and he was talking to him a lot and stuff like that. And that's when I got into all this. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I think I might be a little more fortunate in that regard that I kind of don't have that bitter, jaded, like, oh, DC and Marvel just trash right now. You know what I mean? Like I have more of a, oh, Comicsgate is awesome. Like I kind of have a more upbeat attitude when it comes to stuff like that.
Well, also you came in and you have to grab that ore. You have to do all the heavy lifting. You don't have these companies to do it for you. And so coming from the mainstream, there's still this part of me that thinks somebody else is going to do something. Like all I have to do is draw the comic book and hand it off to the publisher, and then that's my whole connection to the project. But it's not. It's like way more. And I think people like you, Jason, kind of came in and know that's what the job requires. This is the job description, and you just embrace it and you go for it. And you're great on stream, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I like hanging out with you. And I like what you have to say. And Rob, you know what? Embrace that death spiral that you go down and that black hole. And you know what? That's your brand, dude. That's your brand. And people you'll find an audience. Trust me, you'll find an audience.
No.
It might not be an audience.
A lot of people can relate to that darkness.
It might not be the audience you want, Rob, but you'll find an audience.
That's good stuff.
Good times getting old and watching your life just go to hell. It's awesome.
As Clint takes a drink.
Well, let's have a drink to Rob Hunter and his death spiral.
Death spiral. Wait, is it downward spiral or is it death spiral?
No, I hope it's not a death spiral. Holy mother.
No. I mean like death, like DETH.
Oh, I got you. Okay, all right.
It's a Death Raider spiral.
Death
Raider. It's all marketing, Rob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going in demand, by the way? Are you going into? You are? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because Jason is financeless, so there's a lot of projects I've yet to get because money is moneyless. So yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's go right into Jason.
I know that feeling.
See if we can get you some. Okay, here's my plan. Okay, here's my plan, you guys. Everybody listening, let's back Jason at a slightly higher tier, and then Jason will have the money to back.
Trickle down economics. I see what you're doing.
Oh no.
Those work.
No, not voodoo economics. No.
We've lived through those. That sounds so great.
Frankie came up with Death Hunter's sequel name, Death Spiral.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Or that's his arch nemesis, Death Spiral.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so
sweet.
This is Jason. Is it Bascom? Is that how you say your last name?
Bascom. Just don't call me late for dinner, man.
I will not do that.
Yeah, please.
So this is Frog G, a Voodoo Gods and Magic 48-page comic book about a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess and the quest that follows. How could you not?
How could you not? And there's a wonderfully animated trailer by your friend, the great Pedro Wang.
Pedro.
Is it, if I hit play, is it on this? Or
it is on this.
Oh, cool. Let's do this then.
We've all read the story. The brave hero conquers the diabolical villain and rescues the damsel in distress. But this is real life, And in real life, stories don't always have happy endings. Frog G, the story of a man turned into a frog by a voodoo priestess sent on a mission to kill a god by death itself. Now our hero must roam the underworld to regain his humanity and win back the woman he loves. Frog G.
Love that trailer. Love that trailer. Yeah. And Frog G is named after the mod, as everyone has seen in chat, Frog G. He came up. Yeah, there's a little bit of CG lore with Frog G, and it harkens back to my other book, Absolute, the second book, where he got pretty much like a drawn-in tier, and he created Frog G in that book because his name's Frog G from back in the Navy days. So this book actually came out. It got birthed from the chat because they saw the card that Inkspot's colored on Absolute 2. Everyone was like, it was so good. Everyone was like, when's this book come out? We're like, no, it's just a trading card. So the chat demanded and the fans demanded a Frog G book. And we were like, all right, we'll give you a Frog G book. We were a little hesitant, mainly because of Cyberfrog. And it's not in any relation, any way, shape, or form. Like, it just happens to accidentally be Frog G because that's his name. So it's no relation at all in the slightest.
No,
but,
it's all good. And you know what? See, the CG audience, the CG chat are the best because also the character Inko, who's now the Hack Shack mascot, he came from the chat. So
awesome,
so I was just riffing, and then people were throwing stuff in there, and before you know it, you have this creation of this character, and this is the best community ever. And just to get back on Frog G, these illustrations, Jason, these are so freaking good, man.
Thanks, man. Well, I have to give a lot of credit to Inkspots. With the way we work I'll draw a lot of the foreground and maybe a little background, not much at all. And Inkspots will just come in and make the background and like just add his own painterly style and just make things sing. And so Inkspots does a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to the art as well. This is a true collaboration. We work together beautifully. Every page is just fun. We're having a great time with this. We really are, dude.
I like that phase. That first phase.
There's a lot of little teasers in here. My good friend Dan Plagle from Goblin Girl. So he drives a tow truck, and so this is Plagle's Towing. That's the place of this place. Nice. Is Plagle's. In my comic book Absolute, there's a place called the Bar, Barr. So that guy actually has the name Barr. It's not because of Matt Barr. So there's a little bit. I have to say,
to go back to what Rob said, I think the reason Rob likes this Barr character is he looks like he's going to F shit up.
Yeah, you kind of get the idea that he's a mechanic, but you get the idea that he's like kind of the greasier one, the dirtier one. That's, he doesn't not well kempt, like. A
little off. He's a little off.
He's a little off. Yeah, and this is the thing. Frog G, like it says in the thing, he gets turned into a frog by Voodoo Priestess. So actually, at first, he's a human, and mind you, the actual Frog G is not a big black dude, but this Frog G is. So the Frog G in this book actually is in the first few pages. He's a mechanic. He's this big black guy, and we were like, that would be funny to have this big burly dude turned into this little green frog. So,
I like that you guys give a little hint here, like the car kind of looks like the Frog G skin coloring.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's Inkspots, man.
Foreshadowing.
Here's the thing, like we'll lay it out. Like we'll go backstage in Discord. We'll lay out what'll happen, and it looks like the insane. Like I have to actually write down what's in the panel because I can't make heads or tails of what I drew, and then I'll go in and tighten it up. I'll tell Ink, don't worry about it, dude. I'll make it look nice. So we actually work totally separate almost from one another. I'll work on it and then I'll send him a page. He's like, yeah, this looks cool. And then he'll color it and he'll send it to me. And I'm like, that looks cool. So we really don't know what we're doing. We just trust each other fully. So it works. It really works. Yeah. So it's Ink will put in a lot of the borders, like that guy when he's yelling right there, those color choices in the background. I mean, he does a lot of work with these, and it's so much fun, man.
I really like this style. I really
Thanks, man.
It's a lot of fun.
That's to me what comics are. Comics are fun. They're supposed to be fun. And don't get me wrong, I love stuff like Jay Lee and Mike Mignola. I love all these like darker and grittier, but I also like looseness and people being expressive and stuff like that. So yeah, Alex Ross, I love Alex Ross, but
I've never been that guy either. Like even with music, comics, art, if it's good, I like it. If it connects, it's all good. I don't really go after something because it's a certain thing. I mean, we all have stuff that we like more than others. Don't
Right.
get me wrong, I'm the same. But that's not the be all end all. You know what I mean? So I can appreciate something like this and something like Alex Ross.
Right.
And you would think like anybody that's into Alex Ross wouldn't like this or vice versa, but that's how I roll.
Yeah. Well, like look at Clint. He draws in all those different styles because he's influenced by so many different things. That why not do it? You know what I mean? Just why, if you can, why not do it? You love it. It just makes perfect sense, And that harkens to musicians as well. They could play different styles. Why not do it if you love it? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. The color choices are fantastic. This with the purples and oranges and yellows and stuff. This is really hard to pull off without making it look like Fruity Pebbles, But this panel really, really works. And then it goes into these. Well, there's this blue that's consistent throughout, but then there's this down shot of the bathroom. This is fantastic.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and like I said, we bounce well off one another. I drew this a little bit of the grittiness, and ink spots just came in, added that blue, like gave it that moonlight nighttime feel, that atmosphere, and it just everyone loves. I love this panel, so it just came out great. When I saw it, I'm like, dude, you nailed this. This is insanity. But
it's also the storytelling. Like these shots, this is all you. Like setting these shots up and all this. So.
I love movies, and so that's kind of how I learned how to do. Plus comics. I've been reading comics for 20 plus years, 30 years maybe. So off and on. So I've learned just by reading comics and watching movies. Like these are key frames, these are key shots, these are what you do. You move your camera here, that you can make an expression this way just by an upshot. Like you learn as you go. Like you don't really have to take a class or anything. If you've been reading comics your whole life, you have your class. School's
well,
out.
Life is your class. Like everything you need to know is there. I always think like just observe and ask questions. If you observe, like, why is this way? Why is that way? Find the answers. That's what drawing is. It's just problem solving.
And I do redraw, like, because I lay it out digitally. So I'll do a different panel like 3 or 4 times to get the feel of it. Like, oh, it should be a panel break. Some debris should fly out of it, or like keep this one contained. So you as you go, you experiment, and you have fun with it. But if you're having fun with it, it'll be like, yes, this is perfect.
It'll show.
It'll show.
I don't remember this page last time we hung out. This is my favorite page. Look at that VW, man. That you make those crappy cars look cool, man. That thing looks badass, man.
Yeah, we wanted to get that. I wanted to get that feel off that he's like he's hauling, like he's flying. He's like, because he just got turned into the frog, and he knows where this lady lives because he was working on her truck, so he has her address.
Right.
So he's like, I'm a frog. He's like, this lady cursed me. I got to get to her and tell her to change me back. So I wanted to get that feel that he's flying. He's hauling. Yeah.
Oh, she's out in the bayou somewhere.
Dude, she's out in the swampland.
Of course. Oh, she's a hot voodoo.
Yeah, she used that old hag at first, and she's a shapeshifter. So this is like, she's like, would you? Because he disrespects her, and that's why she turns him into a frog. So she's like, hey, would you have treated me differently had I looked like this? And so she changes into her.
It's like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like a modern day fairy tale.
And it is. That's what this is. It's a fairy tale. It's based off of fairy tales. So yeah. It's a lot of fun, dude.
That skull is cool, man. I think last time we were talking, you got to manufacture like some kind of glowing staff with that.
Or like those little spinning light things in a skull. You can push the button.
Yeah.
Be a lot of fun.
Oh, look at this.
That is the only digital page so far. When I was drawing it traditionally, I was like cross-hatching outside of the area I wanted to because my eyes were going haywire. Mm-hmm. I got just so mad. I was like, screw it. I'll just do it digitally. So I just went over and just did it digitally. But if I didn't tell anybody, they probably wouldn't know. So I can easily incorporate my style into a digital format if I want to. And that's what Absolute actually the first like 3/4 of the book is digital. And you can't tell usually unless I like tell you. You can tell a little bit by the cleanness of the line, but that's about it. So yeah, this was a fun one though. And there's a 2-page spread, where she blasts
this is
him.
really good stuff, Jason.
Thanks,
man. Let's see if we move the needle. This is a backing stream too, you guys. So So it's fun to hang out, but let's get
I
to
like
these,
hanging out, man.
give these projects love as well. So 1,684. We have 235 backers. I think we can do better. So great stuff there.
Thanks, man.
Jason. Yeah, thanks for
Dude,
letting us share that.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, I'm having a lot of. I'm hanging out with former professionals and professionals alike. and it's just-
professionals.
Hey,
Former
Are you guys?
professionals,
That's why I said
alcoholics.
professionals alike because you're not working in DC and Marvel anymore. So
our books
we
are
all
still on the
gave up.
shelves.
We all gave up our professional standards
Yeah.
the day we left Marvel and DC.
As long as our books are still in those stores, then it's all good.
the way I
We
see
keep
it, your
reprinting
stuff is better now than what it was back then because then you had that deadline. You had to hurry up and do things. Now you're actually especially with me too. You can sit there and invest in a page, and be like, this is going to be the sickest thing I've ever drawn, and it's a panel. Like it's awesome, man. You don't have to worry about that nitty gritty, page a
And
day.
Jason, I'm taking notes. You got out of that corner very very well.
I didn't mean any disrespect.
He
so,
threw the grease on his hips and he just wriggled.
Hey man, I know what I'm doing sometimes.
No, you're not going to offend anybody here.
No. Yeah, I total love for everybody, on panels.
No.
And in
We're
the
giving you
chat.
crap. We're giving you
Dude,
crap.
Art, you see every time I say I love you in chat, I mean it. I mean it every time I'm in chat. I chat every panel I'm in or any chat I'm in. I say I love you because I mean it. I love this scene that we're in. I don't like calling it a community.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. It's one of those things that it's so original. Like you don't even really. There's not a word that really accurately describes it. So the CG movement, this indie.
Art, sometimes when I say I love you, I'm just sucking up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
honesty is the best
I didn't
policy.
know that until now, Clint. I thought you were 100%
no.
sincere.
I
was.
the illusion.
I was going to buy you an engagement ring and move in.
We can still go to Vegas together.
Can we do that? Get married by Elvis?
We don't have to get married, but we can get drunk in a strip club.
That's close enough.
It's almost the same thing.
I can't wait to go to a convention with you, Art. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, I got invited to, what is it called? La Mole or La Mole in Mexico? The big show there.
No, I'm not going to Mexico. You get shot and killed there.
Yeah, I'm wondering, but it's a pretty big international show, so it seems fairly legit. But I have terms, so if you can be
I bet you do.
It's all about the red M&Ms, like in the green room.
Let me
you
know
gonna be
when
in
you're doing
Florida?
a show in the States, and I'll be there, and we'll have a really nice time.
It's a tequila.
Isn't there that con in Florida in Tampa or whatever?
Yep. Tampa Bay.
Oh, I think
coming.
that's a lot of creators are talking about going to that Tampa con or something. I guess.
Yeah.
I live in Tampa, so I'll probably go.
Rob is
Quite a few CGers are going to be there, man. I know Matt Lauer's going to be there.
Rob is obligated to show up at the convention because he lives.
Because Rob lives
wanna
right
have to-
across the street. He can just walk
Just
to
walk
the
over.
venue.
I just
Jeez,
don't
I'm
want to
really
have to
bored.
wait in line. I'm terrible at that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait in line like everybody else. That's awful.
Like the riffraff.
Don't you know
Like-
who I am?
Like a
I'm
commoner,
Hunter.
like a peasant, like a commoner. How dare you, sir?
It's
I used to
supposed
be
Tampa.
somebody.
Just make sure you wear your winter shirt.
I worked on Batman once upon a time. My books are in that comic convention right now.
Books are there. Let me in.
They're like, why didn't you get a table, Rob? Oh, because you wouldn't give me one for free. I have terms, just like art. I have terms.
Brown ends.
I have a contract. And the green room. There's very specific items. There's certain types of beer. Like I said, the M&Ms. I only want the red ones. Do they even make the red ones anymore? Those are the ones that give you cancer, right?
Yeah.
What?
So,
Red
What?
dye, yes.
I know
That's
the
why
green
Art
ones
wants
made you
them.
horny. The green
green
ones.
makes you horny.
I never do the green ones at the show because I can't control
That's
myself.
all I eat are the green ones at the show. What are you kidding me?
Oh,
Pure MDMA. Let's do
horny
it.
at the show.
Rob is fucking everybody at the show.
wait, Where'd that come from?
Oh, I meant Jason. I'm sorry. I blame Rob for everything.
Hey, Rob, me. Let's do it. You know,
I'm married.
birds do it, cats do it.
I'm a good boy.
Why can't we?
All of this high-end conversation just got me another backer, so we're doing
Nice.
something.
There you
right?
go, man. See,
Well, let's segue into. Do you want to show this artwork first, Clint, or you?
I don't know if I should show it or not. This is me gonna brown nose a little bit.
Well, let's tease it then. So go ahead and tease it. We'll show the campaign, and then we'll come back to it.
Okay. Well, I have to take it down then, and then.
just
Well, I'm not sure.
Grace, now you made me do something else. Sorry.
give it a little tickle. Tease it.
Oh, is that Chris showing off the artwork? What?
I didn't
What's
show it.
happening?
It looked like Chris just popped up, like out of nowhere. He's
I
like,
just want to. I
like
want to say
bewitched.
I did a show with Art, and he doesn't remember me. So
That tells you how much he drinks at a con in one weekend.
Blaster.
Just another peon.
I remember.
yeah, yeah. I went up to talk to him, and he's like, "Where's your X-Men comic for me to sign?"
Did you bring him
I'm
coffee?
like, "What?" No,
Did you bring him coffee?
He
No,
so
I-
he signed my forehead and told me to move on.
Move on. kid.
I just assume I'm like going to be all excited to hang out with Art, and then he's just going to big time me the second I show up.
I'm gonna forget who you are. It's like
You'll
who is-
sign your
Oh, right. Yeah, you're okay.
It's like we've been streaming for the last 2 years. Pontificators, remember?
Maybe a little bit after the show, you can take me to dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll pop
Art
the
just gives
question.
you a 20 and sends you to go get a sandwich.
Go get a
Here,
sandwich.
kid, go give me a
Give me a
sandwich.
meatball sub.
Bring me the change.
You better bring me the change.
Oh, as bad as it sounds, that would be epic, though.
Yeah, sometimes you'll pay $50 for a sandwich. I mean, sometimes you're so hungry and you've been working so hard, at these shows. And if like somebody comes by and offers, you just go, here's $50, keep the change. Give me a sandwich.
Just give me a hot dog.
No hot dogs at those shows.
Oh,
I don't do
quality
hot dogs
beef.
at those shows.
Don't hate yourself
Quality
that
beef
much.
and pork. It's a
Yeah.
blend.
I'm trying to remember who maybe we shouldn't say, but who used to keep a beer cooler under the table?
Oh,
Ooh.
somebody
It was
smart.
Art.
Yeah.
Who's Art?
I did. Like
Literally.
we used to just the first maybe 4 or 5 years in the industry. That's all I did, and I'm not kidding. That's how I met Jim Lee. We were at Artist Alley in San Diego Comic Con, and me and some of my dirtbag friends. It was just an excuse to party. So we bring in one of those igloo coolers, and
It was
we
you.
had it full. Yeah, we had it full of brewskis and there was some hard liquor there too. And so you're just making friends behind the table there, and you're just like, hey man, you want a beer? Sure. And so you just have your, as long as you have your paper cups or the plastic cups, you're okay. But if you're just like, if you have a bottle
Or
or
out of the can.
yeah, you're gonna get busted. And so Jim and I became drinking buddies for that show, and hung out, and it was a great relationship that we forged. I couldn't corrupt Kevin McGuire fully. So Kevin was like what you guys are talking about, thinking I'm like, okay, so Kevin's our buddy at the Artist Alley, right? So we're drinking, he's drinking all my brewski. So it's like later, you're gonna hang out with us. He's like, hell no. Like we weren't good enough.
For a little while in the 80s, me, Kevin McGuire, because Kevin lived in the Village, me, Kevin McGuire, and Kyle Baker were like fucking little drinking buddies. And we used to go hit it. So he's been out there. I mean,
Kevin stayed with us in Redondo when Pamela and I had the townhouse in Redondo, and he stayed with us. He's good friends with Jonathan Peterson. And so we actually, Kevin and I got Jonathan Peterson to a strip joint, and John just about lost his mind. He's like the purest guy. At least at that time, he was like.
How much was Kevin McGuire just like killing it and like at the top of the echelon when he was the Justice League guy when they launched?
He was totally the hot new guy. I mean, he was the first guy that came in and did like the animated faces like that.
Yeah.
We all owe that to him.
Yeah.
And he used to do it. He just like, it's a trick that everybody was told to do and no one ever did it, but Kevin did it. He kept the fucking mirror in front of his drawing board and just ape the faces and do the actual expressions.
Yeah.
I make the expressions while I'm drawing it.
Yeah.
Like it just happens. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
you
I
act
love
it out.
I love
But the
Kevin
thing, like
Blair
Kevin,
stuff.
Kevin told me is like, even during those times, like he's just not a good businessman, Kevin. I feel so
No.
bad for him. He said he would stand up with his board on the sink in the bathroom, and there would be the mirror right in front of him, and he would draw standing up, looking at the mirror. Like he didn't even have a drawing board.
Oh wow.
He didn't even have a mirror. Like he used the mirror in the bathroom, and yeah, I was always like, Kevin, you gotta get better at managing your money, or maybe move out of. Did he live in the city there, Chris?
Yeah, for a little while he was living on. He was renting this fucking fabulous apartment, but it was a sculptress owned it, and it was one of those deals where she wasn't around or something, and he was subletting it, but it was literally like beneath ground level, but you went in, it was like a fucking basketball court. It was really awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so
I love that sculptors could own giant
I know, right?
buildings
It
in
was
that time frame.
literally like on McDougal Street or some shit.
Oh, good God.
Like in the village.
I can't remember his name. You probably know him, Chris. Big time New Yorker studio. He inked Mike Mignola, of all people, on that Krypton book in the day.
I remember that book.
I know Chris
Carlos
knows.
Garzón?
No, that was Cosmic Odyssey.
All right.
Yeah, that was the one where Green Lantern killed the planet.
This
is
guy's
before
kind of
that.
got a really romantic line. He can draw.
Peacock Russell. Didn't he do the Krypton book?
Peter
No.
Russell could have inked him. That would have made
But
sense.
you're more in line with this guy. He's not a big name guy, but he's done a bunch of stuff. Anyway, when I'm staying in New York, and so friends are like, you got to check out. Let's go hang out at this guy's studio, right? So we go in there. It's like one of those, like studios you see in the movies, right? Like no one would ever be able to afford, like windows all the way. It's like a warehouse type thing. There's multiple drawing boards and everything. And I was like, holy shit, dude. What do you do to make this money? And just like a lot of artists just would hang out there. And
Generally speaking, that those guys only could afford those places for less than a year. That's how it was. Yeah. Like, woo, look, then 9 months later to fucking, get that pink slip.
Yeah. 3 months behind on the
in 9 months.
Does anybody remember what the title was called? I'm looking up. I got to find out who that artist is.
The Krypton thing, I thought
Was it called World of Krypton?
Worlds of Krypton sounds.
Oh my God! Oh, Kevin,
Rick Bryant, Kevin
Yes.
Wolf, out of nowhere,
Okay.
Kevin Wolf with the dunk.
Good call.
nice.
For the win!
only-
For the win!
I only knew Rick vaguely, but he was kind of awesome. He did a lot of really good stuff.
And he was like, they were like, this was like early '80s, and there were like serious artists that like would they would kind of bounce into comics, and they do illustration, they do fine art, they do all kinds of stuff. And Rick Bryant was one of those guys. Just always inspired me. Just a great guy. We got Red Valkyrie in the hizzy.
Shay.
So she's saying hi to Clint. Good to see you here.
Sounds like she's a little under the weather. I hope you're feeling better, Red Valkyrie.
Yeah, I feel better.
Feel sick.
Yeah. Hey, Clint, I'm gonna excuse myself for a restroom break, but I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah,
Do you want me to click your link, or do you want me to use mine?
If you share, I'm sharing the page to you, and then I can zoom in
There you
on
go.
stuff.
Okay,
and
there you go.
Yeah, I can just scroll through everything here.
That's
Welcome to the Thunderdome, everybody. This is the Superiors. Put your seatbelts on. Make sure your seat is in the upright and secure position, and get ready to something. I don't know. I'll just trail off there. But yeah, the Superiors launched this weekend. This is my new comic. This is my love letter to the superhero comics that I grew up on. Justice League, Avengers, all the classic 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. That was like the heyday. John Byrne, George Perez, classic runs on these comics. This is the stuff I love. I love the multiverse. I love alternate variants. I love the Crime Syndicate so much. Quick Crime Syndicate story. I drew the Justice League one time. Dan Rasper hired me. I got to draw the Justice League. It was a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern story with the Martian Manhunter in it, and I got to draw the whole Justice League on the last splash page. And like this was my footstep into DC, and I was like, all right, here we go. So Dan was my guy. Dan didn't like me. Dan was mean to me. He didn't like me. But like all these other editors that I pitched stuff to, they were super nice to me, looked at my stuff, told me how great it was, didn't give me any work. Dan treated me like trash, gave me work. I'm like, this is weird, but okay, I don't care.
Is that Raspler?
Yeah, Raspler.
I knew Dan.
So
was that tough love? Was he just?
I don't know. Whatever it was, it was like, I don't care if he hates me. He's giving me work.
Dan was no nonsense.
Yeah. So I sent him tons and tons of artwork. I just drawn sample pages, Justice League stuff. So I think there was like that Devil storyline that Grant Morrison was writing, that Necron or something. So I drew like these sample pages with what Grant Morrison was writing in the Justice League. But then I'm like, I'm going to draw this, but like I love the Crime Syndicate. I love alternate variant versions. So I drew the Crime Syndicate in there. So I went out to San Diego. I had sent all this stuff to Dan. I brought my little portfolio pack, talking with Dan, like, you know, I had drawn something for him like 6 months ago. So I'm showing Dan all these Justice League pages with the Crime Syndicate. And Grant Morrison is over there sitting and signing, and Dan takes my pages and brings them over to Grant. This is while Grant is writing the Crime Syndicate thing that Frank Quietly is going to draw. Like, I didn't know about this. This was happening at the time. So Dan is like showing Grant Morrison my Justice League samples with the Crime Syndicate, saying, look at this, trying to talk him out of using Frank Quietly.
That's good, man.
So we all know how this ended. Frank Quietly is a giant superstar, and I'm me. But yeah, and Dan, you know, whatever. But just a little anecdote for my comic book past, and it's like,
well, just know Dan tried to do the same thing with me. Like I'm like, because I couldn't get anywhere with was it Denny O'Neil? Because Dan Rasper was his assistant editor, I think.
Yeah. And
so I always wanted to do Batman. Like, Batman is my gateway.
Yeah.
I am a Batman fanatic, right? And so, but I don't really have a significant run on Batman. Like, the one thing I always wanted to do, right? And so Dan's like, I like your Batman drawings, whatever. I'll keep the good word, you know, always. And then it's like, you know, every couple months you go, hey, Dan, how's it going? You getting it? Nope. So never in the day. And I remember like talking. I go. Denny knows I'm working on the Superman book, right? He goes, yeah. And I go, so I'm just not the right for Batman. like what the heck is going on here? You know. But
I appreciate that he tried. Like, I appreciate that Dan brought my sample pages up to Grant Morrison at the con to show him. And Grant and Frank Quietly are buddies. Like, there was no way that was, you know, it's like I wasn't gonna wedge anybody out.
Yeah, but I just told that story because that is Dan. Like, he's got a good heart. And he really tries, you know, to get some new talent and things, you know, in front of people. And, you know,
I'll forever be thankful to him. I got to draw Superman. I got to draw the entire Justice League, Batman, the Flash, Wonder Woman. Like, that's my one claim to fame. I love the Justice League. I love Superman. I got to draw them one time for DC Comics, and you know, that's probably all it's going to be, and I'm okay with it. But I did it one time.
All right,
You
you
did
would have
it
been
once.
great on Batman, but Batman was really playing at that time, so that explains why they wouldn't let you on Batman.
Yeah,
You know?
I think
They
they
had
were
a weird style to Batman back then.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say that Graham Nolan was probably doing Batman at the time. I don't know who was doing Batman.
And
But it's-
Graham
he's
has a
simpler,
super
yeah.
clean, old school style.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
it's
he didn't-
simpler. It's a lot simpler.
Yeah, he wasn't doing any of that, like, you know, like the McFarlane Batman, or like he was like this is like classic looking Batman. So it would have worked, but yeah. Well, here I'll pitch my book now. So
There you go.
Oh, I thought you were already kind of in the middle of that, but cool. Yeah,
we're going off on tangents here.
Yeah,
I
It's
tangents
a
are-
brief backstory. That's all.
I can't keep one straight conversation going.
tangents are the best. But this
Yeah, I
is
like
Superiors. This launched yesterday, right?
Yep. The Superiors launched yesterday at 5 p.m. We just hit our goal of 5,000.
Nice.
And within the first 24 hours, which, you know, that's always a good sign.
It's a great song.
I've had a bunch of great feedback. I've got a tweet with the Superiors on it. It's got like 176 likes. I don't think I've ever broke 30 likes on a book before.
Nice.
I've had some like Dale Keown. Like I did a super chat on the Ballers last night, and Dale had checked out the Superiors, and he kind of made some nice comments towards me. And it's like, it's fucking Dale Keown, like saying like he likes what I'm doing. Like, it's like, okay, my weekend's going just the way I want it to be going. So like I super appreciate that kind of stuff. And that Dale even looked at my project, I was like super stoked about. And then
Well,
Yellow
you guys,
Flash,
hold on. I just put the link in the chat, so you guys click that link in the chat and go back the Superiors.
yeah, that's what
keep
we're
going.
here for.
Yeah.
let's get this book going, baby.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Yellow Flash too. Yellow Flash likes what I'm doing, and Yellow Flash is like a huge voice in Comicsgate and has huge channels. And yeah, he like pushed my book, and I super appreciate that, man. So I was super stoked about the kind of response I'm getting from a lot of people out there on Twitter and YouTube and Comicsgate. It's just kind of it makes you feel like, okay, maybe I'm doing something a little bit right here when you hear back from everybody and they like what you're doing. So it kind of gives you that energy to just kind of like, I'm going to make this as kick-ass as I possibly can.
Well, hit refresh. I think you got a backer, right?
Oh, did I? I might have. I don't even. Here, let's, yeah. I start talking and I kind of lose track of the whole freaking world. Yeah, we already got a backer right there. So, yeah, thank you. Thanks to the chat, man. Love you guys. Hail the chat, hail Comicsgate. But I'll scroll down. Like, my variant covers seem to be popular. This is the main one. I'm a big Wildstorm guy. I'm a big 90s comics guy. I'm a big Art T-Bear guy. Like I wish I had gotten to be in
Shack.
I can't talk really good. This is me trying to steal as much of Travis Charest as I can.
That's good.
Stole his soul right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's like looking at Travis.
I wish. But then this.
That was my favorite.
This
That's
homage.
so good.
This was smart of me to do. This kind of seems to be everybody's favorite. This is kind of like getting the bang for its buck. Yep. Yep. It's an iconic cover. It's my favorite Jim Lee cover, and it's my favorite Jim Lee Chris Claremont story. So it turned out really good. And
Hey,
people really,
look at Art showing off.
everybody loves
I have
nostalgia.
that too, yeah.
So yeah, that book.
That's what you were paying tribute to, yeah.
Yep. This cover has been really popular. And then I love John Byrne. I love Fantastic Four 249.
Yeah.
Superman number 8. Like, you've got to be an epic ego stud to homage yourself on Superman and Fantastic Four. And like, God bless John Byrne for being that dude that was like, yeah, I'm that fucking good. So like,
you'd hold it against John Byrne if he wasn't so damn good and delivered so many great stories time after time after time.
Absolutely.
Because there would be times where he would just go over the same territory, or like, you know, that one where he did that Alpha Flight story with Songbird or whatever in the snow.
Yeah.
If that was any other artist, you'd hold it against him, right?
He got away with murder.
Yeah, John, you're just like, yeah, you're drawing 3 books a month. That is freaking genius, man.
Beast.
They initially didn't want to pay him they were going to try. They tried to pay him only for writing the pages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he threw a fit, and they coughed up.
Nice.
Jeez.
John Byrne had a set on him. He didn't give a shit, man.
Oh, dude, that, you know, I mean, a lot of people think, and myself included, that like John Byrne, late 70s, very early 80s, is the best it's ever been for any.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he is. I'm in that camp. You can have your Jim Lees and your Frank Millers. John Byrne at his peak was the best.
Wait, I have to ask. Stanky Frankie says Snowblind. Was it Snowblind? Was that the character's name, or was it Snowbird?
Snowbird.
Well, it's Snowbird, but the
Snowbird.
storyline was Snowblind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you got to write on both accounts, Art.
You've got to give guys like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld credit for they saw John Byrne's impact,
Yeah.
but they also learned what
Go
the
out on
fans
your
actually
own.
wanted.
Yeah.
But what they wanted, like, because you look at John Byrne's Alpha Flight, and you're like, wait a minute, one of the most popular characters he kills. He kills Vindicator in issue 12.
Yeah.
You know, he messes up Sasquatch. If Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, or Todd McFarlane had done that book, they would have made sure that Sasquatch and Vindicator were always up front with those splash pages.
Yep.
And they were always kicking ass and doing the cool things. John, that's the one downside I've always thought about John was
John cared more about the
fan
story.
service.
John cared more about the story in his head than marketing and making money off of it.
Yes.
Where those image guys later realized we can make money off of this if we tell the story the way the fans want.
Yep, exactly. Capitalize. Yeah.
Yep. And they capitalized. And John, like, he was too late to, like, if John would have went out and done something on his own at his peak, but the market wasn't like that.
The market wasn't there.
No. Yeah, it was so.
Well, they tried to do that Dark Horse imprint in the mid '90s, but
they did Next Men.
Yeah, he had Next Men. That was pretty.
Yeah,
later.
what was that? What was that imprint
the Easter
called?
Head? What was
Easter Island?
Easter Island.
Oh God, what was the imprint? Because Mignola was a part. That was Hellboy's.
Wasn't it Legend?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Legend?
Legend.
Yeah.
I knew it was something pretentious. It's like,
it was Legends with the Easter Island.
With Easter Island
statues.
logo.
Yeah.
Art Adams did Gorilla Book.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Monkey
but
Man.
John didn't
Monkey
learn.
Man.
He didn't.
And
he
O'Brien.
Didn't learn the lessons. You know what I mean? His Next Men book was awesome, but it was just like when he did Alpha Flight. He didn't capitalize on the cool.
Well, you get stuck in your ways too. Like you're set,
he had a story. He had a way of telling his stories, and it didn't always play to the fan base. Yeah. And like he wasn't afraid to alienate his fans
or kill the most popular character or whatever.
But when it came to Alpha Flight, John Byrne himself admitted that like it was essentially like a marketing move. Like, you know, they had that appearance in the X-Men and became instant stars, and you know, and so Marvel just kind of demanded that he do a series. But he said, like, well, we never fleshed out these characters. I don't know who they are. It's just an appearance, really, for a couple of issues. And so, he, started on the book and without really having all the characters fully formed, in his head. And he was just kind of feeling his way out as he went, So
you couldn't tell by reading that stuff. I mean, I remember that Alpha Flight run. It was brilliant.
If he hadn't killed Vindicator, Alpha Flight would have been a different animal than it is now. Like that
was kind of genius, though.
It was genius storytelling, but it ripped the guts out of the fan base, and it never recovered.
Oh, really? Like
no.
I wasn't really that involved with the bigger picture stuff. I just remember I thought it was kind of cool. And the way was it his wife? Who was the one that finds his wife?
Yeah, his wife finds him, and then he's trying to disable the nuclear reactor in his armor, and the countdown. And no, it was epic. Like if that was like that should be like a Netflix or an Amazon series because it would rip the guts out of the audience. But it was too epic. It like there was no recovery after that.
But
like
she became the Vindicator.
Yeah, there was all
she did,
kinds
yeah.
of things. She
Which
became a
was awful.
Vindicator and Guardian, and they even like tried to bring him back, but then he was like some robot
It was
or
a
something.
clone. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it
you're
was-
still shitting on the fans. You're just
All
like,
the- all
hey,
the
look,
bad-
Vindicator's back. No, he's not.
No.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's
Suck
just a
it.
kick to the nuts.
Suck it, fans. Yeah.
And the thing is, it gutted the because I don't know, just whatever element that Vindicator gave to Alpha Flight, once he was gone, the rest of the team didn't like they couldn't move on without him. He was the core.
Yeah, but didn't
Yes.
Byrne? When does Byrne leave Alpha Flight? In the teens, though, right? Somewhere?
Yeah, it wasn't long after
so
that. It was the
basically,
6 months.
He's on his way out, so he fucking shit in the living room.
Just
Yeah.
nukes it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah.
And knowing Burns' backstory, that's not a surprise that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
he was
build a
probably
house on as I walk
universally the most hated guy in the industry.
Oh, but yeah, no.
I bet by editors from that era, John Byrne is probably one of the most hated creators because
Yeah,
he
so
he
fucking-
knew
you don't get to be that good at drawing comic books while you're fucking out and about developing social skills.
Yep.
It's he's that good because he's locked to a drawing board.
you
Yeah.
sat at your
Yeah.
desk with your nose to the paper for 20
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
Well, I think he knew what his value was, and
Yeah.
he just didn't take any shit. The thing I always loved in the day was like, John Byrne would hang out with like, what's his name, Frank Miller and Marv Wolfman, and it always seemed like such a cool brain trust that DC had there for a while. They had Marv Wolfman and like all those guys like making some really great comic books.
Yeah.
I thought Byrne's run on Superman was fantastic.
Burns
Look at all this
runs
hatch!
Superman.
Look at all this hatch work. That's crazy.
Chad's
This is
saying
for
that.
you, Art. I
Thank
did
you.
this all I was thinking about. Like I can't wait to show this to Art. I want to make this look as good as possible. Look at the shoulders.
Yeah,
I like the face. I like the face on the Superman type character. He's so
Yeah, it's pretty good.
angry. Look at that. Screaming. It's like, oh.
I'm gonna kill
Like,
you.
I was thinking of I can't wait to show this to Art. I'm
Uh,
so
well,
happy with myself. If Art says it sucks, I'm gonna cry and
Oh.
I'm just gonna go out in the woods and shoot myself.
No, it's really good.
That's
It's
a good
Rob Hunter you need to worry about.
Which
Yeah, right.
that's what we call the death spiral.
Yeah.
When you wanna
The
go
death
into the woods.
The death spiral. So
Rob,
this is the cover. This is going to be the cover to the Who's Who book. So like, I've got a bunch of characters here. There's a big 48-page story, but I want the backers to be able to get to know each of the characters individually too. Those Who's Who books, we all grew up on those. You get like some nice piece of artwork, and then you get a little write up on each of the characters, their origins. Like, I want to flesh these guys out a little bit. So this is going to be the cover for the Who's Who book. And I just some fun extras that I've got in the campaign that I want everybody to check out. Like, this is my, this is my fun. Like, I'm trying to have as much fun and throw as many superhero characters in on every page that I can. It's Walmart Hulk in the background there,
Walmart.
with his bowling bag, and the Grape Ape is just kind of hanging from Yancey
Grape Ape.
Street. It's definitely not the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or Thor flying in the background.
Nice.
Those are totally different characters. But yeah, like I love. I'm not sure which I love better. I don't know if I love homages better or I love Easter eggs better. but I love throwing both of them in my comics.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at, and you even threw the kitchen sink in there. So.
The kitchen sink is in there. Good eyes, Art.
Nice.
You can't see it here.
Wait a minute, is that Dr. Octopus?
There's Dr. Octopus arms coming out of this hole, but if you see the whole double page spread, there's actually octopus arms coming out of it too. I thought I was being so clever. So.
Nice.
So like a lot of fun, a lot of like little if you're
you got the look up in the sky panel.
Yeah, this was I don't know if I fully pulled it off.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it is a hard angle to pull. That is a hard angle to pull off.
You know who's really good at this is Carlos Pacheco. I learned a lot about putting characters in perspective working with him, because a lot of people, like even Jim Lee, as good as he is, like there'll be like a down shot, right? And the characters should kind of fold out, right? Like you're looking down and they should kind of come out like this, but they usually draw them still straight up and down. Right? Yeah. The buildings will be all in perspective, but the characters won't. And then you look at somebody like Carlos Pacheco, and all those characters are in perspective with their surroundings. And it's like, oh, shit, that's amazing.
Another person I like is Canetti. He does it really well, too.
Oh, Canetti can do anything. Yeah.
Canetti's a beast. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a badass.
I worked hard at this panel, and still I'm not sure I pulled it off. I'm not a beast.
You pulled it off. You pulled it off. Don't worry about it.
I faked it enough so that it doesn't look jar.
But see that second panel? See, you did it. The characters are like I told you, like they're kind of coming out in perspective. So if you take the farthest character on the right and the farthest character on the left, you can see them fanning out. Because that's called perspective, people. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't do that. They'll just draw them all straight up and down. Mm. You know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean, Art.
I just gave you credit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so yeah,
remember Byrne used to do those covers with fucking 60 characters.
Oh god,
the Fantastic Four anniversary issue.
Yeah, they'd all stand around him watching him draw. No ego there.
Ooh, there's a homage cover right there. Clint, you're gonna draw yourself.
Oh, jeez, dude. Have at it, man.
I'll draw all the characters standing around me, but I'll just be passed out on the floor with like a bottle.
You should. That would be hilarious.
That would be more comic book accurate.
Yeah.
And your computer screen on with like you just passed out on a live stream
down.
Pouring on, hand down my sweatpants, bottle of whiskey in my hand.
No hand in your sweatpants.
Just a little puddle of puke next to my face.
The puke is manly. The hand in the pants, no.
Yeah. That's where you draw the line.
That's where you draw the line, man.
I'm just looking out for you, Clint.
Yeah. When you move up to penciler, then you have a girl next to you. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Only in Chris's world is that the same thing.
Not everybody in this book makes it out alive.
Oh no!
Wait, Late Kick. Wait, hold on. Late Kick says that like 80. Oh, is that. What is that number 82? What is this in reference?
I asked people to tell their backer numbers early on, and then I kind of got drunk and forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
Leg kick. That means he's backer number 82.
Yeah, hail leg kick, man.
Hail leg kick.
Hail leg kick.
There's probably other people that mentioned their backer number, and I might have missed it. And hail you guys too. Alcohol's a wonderful thing.
Well, you just got another backer. You're 5,520, so you get 75 backers.
Oh, man.
5,520, 75 backers, and you just wrapped up the first day. So that's really good, Clint.
No, it's been a great start to this. I'm super stoked. It's going kind of how you hope it goes. So,
well, this book looks incredible, and I have to. I don't know if this is your usual colors, but these colors are really nice too.
I've got two colorists that I work with, and this is Sean Forney. Sean Forney kicks ass. He does a lot of stuff for Marat Michaels.
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah. He's a really good colorist, and I mean, he did an amazing
colors
job.
great.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That guy got butchered.
That's gonna sting. I need some Bactine and some Band-Aids.
Stat. I need a
Ooh.
sling. I need a sling to put my bloody stump in.
You bastard! You killed him.
Clint,
It's just a flesh wound.
It's
Who
just
had-
a flesh wound.
Walk it off.
Was
Rub
that,
some
was that,
dirt on it and walk
Rub
it
some
off.
dirt on-
I
get
can't
some
walk it
tussin.
off. I don't have any legs.
Get some tussin.
Oh.
Somebody was asking me a question.
Oh, it was the iron bands with the rivets. Was that Goliath that used to have that?
Yeah,
There
that was kind of a bad.
Goliath,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a take off of that character, and it's probably kind of embedded in my brain. But this is Red Giant, which my clever name for the giant character. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what is
Darren,
this?
Darren did see, like, me and Darren did a book in the early 2000s, Hyperactives. Darren was the writer, and I was the artist, and I was showing him some of this stuff way back then. This book has been percolating in my brain for a good 20 years. So,
Oh, cool.
yep. So, like, and actually, I've got a resources book. It's called Early Visions, and I probably did like 2 early attempts at this book where I drew like 5 or 6 pages of storyline. So that's actually one of the perks in the book too, is you can get all that background art that I did. It just kind of shows you the development that I went through in making this happen, because a lot of people just like, oh, you just drew this book and it just happened. It's like, no, I've been working on this book for years and years, if not decades. And so a lot of work goes into this stuff, a lot of development, a lot of times that it doesn't work out. So like, I literally probably had to wait around for crowdfunding to show up and like become a thing in order to make this book happen. This book was actually, it was approved at Image at one point through Jim Valentino. I had sent him the pitch and the title, and then I talked to him at a convention, and I showed him the art, and I was very in love with Travis Charest at the time, and I was doing like this super kind of Travis Charest Wildstorm style, and Valentino took one look at it and was like Image isn't doing this anymore. Like it was like, I missed the window or whatever. And it got squashed right there and then. And the book had been approved already by him. It's why I showed up at the convention. So it's like, there's a lot of kicks in the nuts along the way of being a comic book creator.
Yeah, but it's here now.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying this for the guys that are still getting kicked in the nuts right now. Is like,
hey, I'm right here.
I take offense to that.
But no, it's like, put your nose in the grindstone and you get kicked in the nuts, get back up and keep fucking plowing forward.
I remember when you were a kid, you get kicked in the nuts all the time.
No,
I didn't happen to
What's
be
wrong?
that often, man. What are you talking about?
I had friends. And
Who were you hanging out with?
Oh my gosh, we beat
Or
the
had
shit
a
out of each other
fetish.
constantly. Yeah. You find the weakness and you exploit it.
Yeah.
or it's like, kick me in the nuts. I dare you. Kick. Oh,
I fell off.
every day.
I fell out of a tree once onto a cinder block fence. I straddled it,
Oh,
and I must have fallen about like 12 feet. And I got off the fence, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna throw up! I'm gonna throw up!" And so I still remember Gil Martin. It was his fence and his tree. And he came out, and he just he didn't say a word to me. This is how like dads used to be. And he grabbed me around the chest, and he just shook me like crazy. And then he's like, "You feel better?" And I was like, "I think so."
No.
And then he just walked back in the house.
He's trying to get your balls to descend.
yeah,
That's what
he's
he
trying to
did.
get him back out of your body.
Yeah, they were like knocked up inside me. Yeah.
Oh,
He was shaking him back into place.
Does anybody remember in the 70s there was a Daily News thing where somebody was trying to sneak into Studio 54 and they fell out of the back window and broke their back, and it was like Mick Jagger lookalike, tries to sneak in. So it was literally the front page of the Daily News. No, it's a New York thing. Anyway, that was Mike Carbonaro.
oh no.
Yeah,
Oh jeez. Yeah, it's a bit before my time, but
yeah.
no.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know Mike
Carbonaro ran some. He used to have a comic book shop in Queens, a big one.
Oh, okay.
But then he was and now he's been running for quite some time, like 20 years, like the Big Apple Comic Con.
Okay.
That guy, Crazy Mike.
So he can walk.
He basically he was on the front page of the Daily News because he's trying to sneak in a window at Studio 54, and he fell from the window and broke his back. And the paper said like Mick Jagger lookalike, blah blah blah, but that was Mike Carbonaro.
I remember, like, I didn't break my back, but I remember doing stupid stuff like that when I was a kid. So, remember when drive-in movie theaters were a thing? Mm-hmm. Me and my friend used to park our car in the lot next to the movie theater. We never had money, so we would sit on the fence, and then if there was nobody around, we'd jump the fence and then go and sit next to the speaker pole, and we'd watch the movies. And so I remember security caught us one night. And so I got on top of the wall, this big like cinder block fence, and I'm running along the fence, and there's these giant like cypress pines, those big things that grow into cylinders. And I must have watched too many swashbuckler movies, but I was like, the car was just down there. But if I jumped off the wall, I'd probably hurt myself because it was pretty high. So I remember I jumped onto that cypress and just figured it'd bend and it would bring me down to the ground. And
like a cartoon.
Yeah, like a cartoon. Yeah. And I jumped, and I remember having the thought, like, I have to jump high enough so I would get enough weight so it would bend, right? So I jumped up and I grabbed it and I went down, and there was less resistance than I thought. And that thing, it did kind of ease me down, but instead of landing on my feet, it just threw me onto my back. Just boom, like that. And then I just remember, like I couldn't breathe. And so then, my friend, he climbs down the cypress instead of doing the Errol Flynn routine. He gets in the car, and we drove off.
That's not happening today, though. Most people are just most little people anyway, are stuck inside. They don't have all these tales of adventure, and they don't touch grass. You know what I mean? It builds character, and
you got to be young and stupid for a little while.
You got to be young and stupid, man.
All of my adventure and injury stories are related to me and my dad. And my dad, he wanted to be a logger. That's what he should have been. He built his own log house. So I spent most of my younger years, especially the weekends, just cutting wood with him and him dropping trees and me dodging them. Because he wasn't the best logger in the world. And it'd just be like I vividly remember trees dropping on me that he had cut down, and they landed like I was hit by branches.
So wait, you and your dad built a log house?
Me and my dad built the log house my dad is living in now. I helped him build and cut. And we had a sawmill. Most weekends when I was 10 to 14 or 16, I spent sawing logs on a sawmill, and shoveling sawdust and rolling logs. And as much as I love my dad, I still have a little bit of hate in my heart for every one of those fucking weekends.
I mostly just got cursed at for not holding the flashlight right when he was working on
it. He was one of those kind of dads. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of me getting yelled at for not knowing what I was doing around the sawmill. So.
Well, this is kind of related, but not. I saw this documentary on attractions at amusement parks, and there's those log flume rides, where they're like you're in a log and you make that big drop and all that. Well, that actually came from actual loggers. That's where they got the idea. I'd never really made the correlation before, but like these loggers, they would build like these giant trenches, not trenches, but troughs, I guess. And so like they'd be,
it was the easiest way to move the logs around when you're logging and
right. But what these psychos did, and your dad might have been one of them, is those guys would write those things down sometimes. And they said, and this wasn't hyperbole. He goes like 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't make it to the bottom because those logs roll like. Oh yeah. And then some of them are like elevated, these trenches or whatever they build. So if they smacked into a side, they'd go flying off and like fly like 100 feet down to their death, or they'd get crushed. They'd fall off the log, and they'd still be in the water. And then a log would come up and wedge them between another log and shit. Like, oh my gosh, this guy was talking about all these loggers that met with their demise. Like, just, I don't know why. Like, guys are just crazy.
They're so unhappy in their work. They're just like, fuck it.
I'm doing it.
I ain't walking down this hill. I'll meet you guys down.
I've got multiple scars from working with my not emotional scars, like legitimate, like I got stitched up scars.
Yeah, but you got some emotional ones too. Obviously. My dad was a taskmaster, but he was also one of those guys that he was fairly accident prone, and so he was pretty sane on all like the home, like we repaired the house, we repaired the car, like it was that time, you didn't take the car into a place to get it fixed. You did it all yourself, yeah. And so my dad had a tolerance, like he had a moment, and then he would kind of break. Like his patience would be gone, and you knew, like when he'd go, like his solution was get the hammer. Like if something was wedged, he'd go, "All right, get the hammer," and then he'd just start muscling shit, just like going crazy. And then I remember, like once he was working with like a torch, welding or some craziness, and he hit that place, whatever that zone was, and he'd hit it, and he was like, ah. And he dropped it, and like the butane just like, and then before you know it, like the whole shop's on fire. and then my dad kicked the thing. That's what it was. He kicked the butane. I guess he tried to keep it away from the flame, but it was already on fire. So he kicked it, and then it wedged into like the workbench, and then it got the workbench on fire. And I just remember, like before you knew it, it was just crazy. It was just nuts, right? Like there was fire everywhere and shit. And so we got the fire out somehow. But yeah, my dad was. I love him to pieces, but he had that moment. He'd always hit that moment.
There's that threshold. That one.
We were replacing the windows in the house, right? And so it was the last window, and my brother and I, we're putting these aluminum frame, we're replacing the wooden frame window. And so he's trying to wedge this window in. It's not going in. He's like, it should go in. Like he lost all reason, right? And so he's like, it should fit. And then he's like, Art, go get the hammer. And so now he's gonna muscle it in, right? It's a piece of glass, right? Even I knew, like, this is something you shouldn't do. And then he goes, Art, get in the inside of the house and stand in front of the glass, so if it comes through, you can catch it.
Oh God, yeah.
And I remember, like, oh no. I'm like, okay, Dad, I love you. I'll do it. So then my brother walks in. And he goes, Dad. He goes, remember those little adjustment things? There's this thing that you slide out, and then it's built for like different sizes, so you can add them or you can subtract them. And then my dad, just all his anger went to my little brother. My brother probably saved my life, right? Because the hammering stopped at that moment. We had to pry the window back out. He slid the thing in. It went right in. Oh. It was the last freaking window.
You were probably insured. He was just trying to get rid of you.
Probably. I got too many mouths to feed.
Kids.
These kids.
Go catch the window.
It was free labor for that guy, man. I'm sure Clint felt that way working with his old man.
Everything you were talking about right there just rung a whole bunch of bells. That sounds about right.
My dad was a truck driver and fucking he used to take me to work when I was like 13. And then after fucking work, he would go to these fucking underground crap games and fucking people would be drinking, fucking gambling and shit.
Oh, nice.
Like, so you'd be like in the MetLife building in the fucking basement, and there'd be it was literally like Guys and Dolls in those days. It was fucking all these literally like fucking a rotating underground crap game, like security guards would let you in and shit.
That's
That
cool.
sounds freaking awesome. That's the dad I want.
Hey, okay, we're all a little older, and I was talking to my wife about this. Like my parents, when we did go out to eat, we didn't go to like Denny's or these places. We went to bars.
Oh,
We went to actual bars that would serve food.
yeah.
And it like, what do you want, honey? You know, like the waitresses would come in. They're obviously sexed up, and they're serving drinks and stuff. Your dad would get plastered, and it was just like that's how we went when we went out. That's where we went.
Those are those '50s guys that went. That's when they started to age out in the '70s, but they're just still part of that culture. It's fucking, you go to the fucking horse track with your kid. All right, go on, let's go to OTB and fucking smoke a joint with my bud. Fucking,
We would go to this bar, and everybody knew my grandma at this bar. We would go to meet my grandma. My parents would take me and my sister, and we go to this bar, and they had pinball in the corner. So it was like you get a handful of quarters. You walk in, you see your grandma. She's got fucking cigarette about
and
3
2 packs
feet
on
long.
the fucking bar.
Yeah, the cigarette down to the like
vodka soda. Everybody knows her, and that I can relate.
Yeah, my grandparents.
Good times.
Harder core than that, man.
Yeah, mine weren't hardcore, but that's probably because of my mom, like Christian values and stuff like. So if it was up to my dad, maybe it would have been more hardcore, but she kind of kept our family in line. So yeah, thankfully we didn't have that. Just tales of my dad getting mad because of the car, because he's a mechanic. So mechanics have that rage in them, like you said. At that point, they have that threshold where it's just like, that's it. And he's just like, he shakes the car and throws the tool and stuff like that. And then that's how leave Dad alone. He's gonna put a hole in the wall if you don't leave him alone. So yeah, but there's stuff like that. We weren't really all that bad up until like I got into my 20s, and then I'm like, I'm going to bars. I'm doing shots at 151 with tequila chasers and like just going all out wild because I didn't do it in my teenage years. So busted that all out of me then, but thank goodness because now I'm here.
Yeah, did you guys remember your 21st when you could drink? Like my
dude, I was rolling up on the table, wiping it off with my shirt. Oh, dude,
my dad took me out. Yeah, he even took a picture of me like taking a shot. Like, that's my boy.
The Central Park murder, the Jennifer Levin killing guy. Like, what was it? He strangled her with her own panties or some shit. The Preppy murder.
Yeah.
Oh, the Preppy murder. Yeah.
So that was the big murder in New York City where they finally started enforcing the ID at bars and drinking. Because before that, I used to go to fucking titty bars when I was 15. They would let you in. They didn't give 2 flying fucks. They would. Everybody drank underage.
It was a golden era.
Yeah, it wasn't until that murder that they actually started IDing people at bars, and the city had a crackdown because they were underage drinking wherever it was.
What year was this about?
Boy, that's fucking late.
Had to be late 70s or mid late 70s?
Mid 80s, I think.
I was just saying, I thought that was 80s.
Yeah, it was like 84, 85, I don't remember. But literally, that was the murder. Because I remember, I think I had just maybe barely turned the legal age. I was going to or some shit. And all of a sudden, they asked me for ID. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've been coming here for 6 years.
Was that nationwide, Chris?
It was,
was it just
New York City.
Just New York, yeah.
In New York, no exaggeration. If you were fucking 12, 13 years old, you can go buy 40-ounce beer at any grocery store.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
we couldn't buy it at liquor stores, but I could get into like clubs, any club in Hollywood, whatever. I could get in. They just made sure like a bartender just wouldn't serve me, because I obviously look like a kid. So the bartender just used discretion and wouldn't serve me, but I could get in the club. I just couldn't drink.
New York was when I was in junior high school, which in New York is 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. The bodega across the street would sell beer and loose cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we had a guy. I get my comic books and my my alcohol at the grog shop, the liquor store. That shows you how you got like
nice.
you go, you get your
You go
comic.
hand in hand.
you get your candy bar, your favorite candy bar, your Slim Jims, and your alcohol at the grog shop. What a combination! You're still a kid, but you're doing like adult shit, you know.
Well, and I mean, we weren't that loosey goosey in the Midwest, but I do remember like me and my buddies turning 21 and like going to the strip club for the first time, and we put in like the full shift there. We knew, we knew every dancer's middle name that first day.
Yeah, you closed.
It's like, holy shit, this has been here this whole time. That was a nice afternoon.
Nice.
So.
You know, I don't know if you guys ever made this mistake going to those places. Is sometimes they'd have lunch specials. Like one, you never want to go in the day because it's not the good dancers aren't there the day, and also the food is just it's cheap, but it's not good.
It didn't open until 5, and it was just all Midwestern corn-fed beauties, and it was just like we were 21, they were 27, and they just like they took care of us, and they realized it was our first day, and it was Adora. I still remember Adora Cash. And like literally
clocking into work. It's our first day.
Her name was Adora Cash. She had like went and printed out like fake dollar bills to like hand out to people.
Oh, to make yourself feel like
like it was just a little bit of her act or whatever. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do? And she was gorgeous. Like, God bless her. But yeah.
Oh well,
Heart.
God bless
Clint,
your backers, man. You just
got
a couple backers.
Hey, thank you guys.
You're at 5,745. You got 70.
Holy shit, man!
7 backers. I think you started off as like 71 backers. Is that right?
I remember at one point I was 69.
Yeah.
At that bar.
If we hit 6,000, if we hit 6,000 tonight, I'm gonna be absolutely stoked. That's like a great first day. So
yeah,
thank you, chat. Everybody who's back in the chat, and thanks for everybody being here, man.
Drop your back numbers.
Like we might need to think about doing a Saturday night every once in a while.
Jesus Christ, I want to have a life.
Yeah, I said it once in a while.
There's a live streaming on Saturdays. I know Bancroft, Crackhead are like right next to each other. So yeah.
But yeah,
I like that.
We've got a really good show going on. There's a ton of people in the chat, man.
Yeah, you got a good chat going. Yeah.
74 people in the chat right now. Hail chat.
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, I love everybody being here. This is a lot of fun, and we'll just get drunk and ramble on about nonsense.
Well, it's working because people are loving this. It's like talking about our old man's,
old
man stories.
It's relatability. It's relatability. Everybody has stories, and they can.
Yeah, everybody had a dad barking down their neck.
Yeah, as you should though. It builds character. You know,
need more of that in the world, really.
Yeah.
I remember my dad was working on a car. He had a wrench in his hand. He got pissed, and he threw the wrench at the car, and it would have hit. If the window was rolled, if it was up, it would have went through the window. But it went through the window, and he was so lucky that the other window was up. It was down too. So it went in and out and then hit the house. And I was like, how did that work out, man?
Yeah, all right. You used to have another brother. You just don't remember.
I don't know.
There was a wrench incident one time.
This is the story that I'll tell you about my dad. My dad wouldn't tell me, and like he got it stitched up and it was already healing, but then I spotted it during the summer and he had a cut across his thigh, and I'm like, oh, what happened? And he didn't want to tell me about it, and I had it working for it. He was cutting shooting lanes out of this hunting shack, and he was like just going through the brush with his chainsaw like it was like a weed whacker. And it bounced off a branch, bounced into his leg, cut up his leg. Didn't want to tell me about it because he knew I would be like chew his ass out for like I know exactly what he was doing, and it's like fucking be careful. But like he would like And there was another time he rolled a log over him when he was cutting up wood on a hill. I'm not going to go into it.
The
This is
thing
a
is,
rabbit hole.
like moving out here, I've used chainsaw more than ever in my life.
Yeah.
And those things have a tendency to bounce. They
do.
They'll
They
like
kick back.
they'll
Yeah.
kick back,
Especially
on
on like smaller branches or smaller trees when there's a lot of flex in it, and it can happen.
Yeah,
for
my uncle was cutting a limb off, and it kicked back, and it flew out of his hand actually, and it severed into his bicep, cut his whole bicep
crazy.
off.
Oh,
he was tore up for the longest.
Well, I watch these guys
God,
here because we're in a forest. I mean, some of these trees are like 50 feet tall, and these like monkeys. I call them monkeys. I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, they can climb these
just
things
to
like
climb like that.
with they have like this little like side thing that has the chainsaw, and they'll climb it with the chainsaw on. Like the chainsaw will still be on. Like they won't start it once they get up there. It's on, and they'll climb the tree. And you watch these guys with one hand. I mean, these things are also well maintained. Chainsaws. These aren't dull. And
these guys that go way up the trees, they know what they're doing. Those guys are like the real professionals. Like they're
We had a 50-foot tree that it just died, and they took it down. And so what they do is they tie a rope on it, and they don't have a pulley, but they throw it over another branch. And so then they cut the branch, and there's a guy on the ground that's got the rope. And so when the branch comes off, the guy will catch it, and then he'll just use the weight of the branch and lower it down. So things don't get destroyed, and these branches are flying all over the place, because these branches are like as big as some of the like normal trees. These branches that they're cutting off.
You can go into YouTube and like there's like professional tree trimmer guys that work in the big cities, and they'll go into neighborhoods that have like giant tall trees, but that are right in between houses, and they like there's whatever management people that know that like this tree has to come down. And they'll show the videos of those guys go up in the top of those trees, and they'll just cut it section by section, 8 feet, but they'll
and then bring it down all the way to the ground.
It's a skill, and it is like it's amazing. Those guys are like, it's crazy.
Well, I wanted them to sign a waiver because I heard if they fall out of the tree and hurt themselves, they can sue you. And I'm like,
the homeowners insurance.
The homeowners insurance.
I saw a video of one where I guess I don't know, maybe they didn't know what they were doing. I don't know how they're cutting it down, but the tree just, you see it fall right onto the house. Like you see it going slow, you're like, that's not going to end well, and it just crushes right into the house. You're like, oh, that family. Oh no!
Yeah, if you don't maintain the trees in this area, they can fall. And our neighbor had one that fell on his roof and just destroyed his roof. It's like it's going to cost you maybe $1,000 to get that tree maintained, but it's going to cost you tens of thousands.
Oh yeah, once it hits your roof, that's a nightmare.
Yeah,
and there goes all your comics too.
Oh no!
Well, I was told when we moved out here not, because I was going to put my comic collection in the attic, and they said you never put your comics in the attic.
No.
And so.
What's your best comics in your collection, Art? Like, what's your favorites, or what's your everybody's got a couple. Like I got this
child.
My prideful collection is my Daredevil collection. I have it's either 1 through 20 or 1 through 30 in order
of the
original Daredevil run. So the Bollywood stuff, all that stuff is there. It's probably in really, really bad shape. I have a lot of early Avengers. So I have the first appearance of Captain America.
Nice.
What was I want to say issue?
Was that
4?
4? 4.
Yeah.
4.
So I don't know the exact numbers, but I know I have that one. And I have 2 other Avengers that are still in 1 through 10, somewhere in there. But they're all in really, really bad shape. But I think the Daredevil stuff, I was a big Daredevil fan as a kid. The one part of my collection that I regret selling is I had all the Avengers from Giant Size, the new Avengers. I think I had the first 20 or so of those, and I sold those when I went into college to try to help pay for supplies and stuff like that. So I sold that for dirt cheap. But even at the time, they were worth way more than I got.
That's the pain of comic books. They're
Yeah.
always worth a certain amount, and then when you try to sell them, they're worth 22% of what you think.
Well, you have to find the right buyer. That's the thing. Like I was desperate, so I just took it into a comic shop. It's like bringing a used like a car into, trade it in, and they're never going to give you the value.
And especially now, you have to have them graded from to really move. People usually don't want them unless they're graded. So
and that's expensive.
It can get pricey, man.
Pricey.
So
but it also adds to the value of the resale too, though. Like if you have it,
But it hurts
because it's a new way. It's a new way to make money off of something without the creator seeing any cash. Just another layer of money that.
Another layer you're getting screwed out of.
Yeah,
exactly.
It works if you're flipping.
Yes.
But,
For the record, I don't have the first appearance. So.
Yellow Boy.
What is Yellow Boy?
Yellow Kid.
I think it's supposed to be Yellow Kid. Yeah.
Yellow Kid. Yeah, that's the first comic ever. I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's go over the campaigns once more, and we'll update and see where we're at. So let's go. Check out Deth Raider 2000.
Deth Raider.
Rob Hunter.
Art likes to call them Deth Raiders. He usually, at least once every time, it's
Deth Raiders, the man with the golden gun.
It's a cross between Indiana Jones and.
So close to 14K.
Let's hit this refresh. 301 backers. Oh, you got 2 more backers.
Nice.
Nice.
So close.
So what do you need? Like you need, what is that? $14?
2 PDFs. 2 PDFs to be sold, or just put me over it with one book.
Or just one book. One book. You guys. We're not okay. Here it is. We're not gonna close this out until
oh no.
Rob so please, you guys, I say this knowing that you guys will pity this old man and that I need sleep and it's been a long day. So maybe the next 5 minutes, if you could.
You shouldn't do that, Art, because Deth Raider moves in funny and mysterious ways. That could be dangerous. That could be very, very
dangerous. It could be dangerous, but I'm willing to take the chance for Mr. Rob Hunter and the Deth Raiders.
Raiders.
Deth Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, let's check out this video once again. This is Trailer B.
Are you ready?
You get Death Metal Hero to do some strings over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was badass. All right, man. We got a few backers. I think we can do all we need is one more backer, you guys, and we're going to be at 14,000. Make Rob's day. So this is Deth. This is Deth Raiders, the man with the golden gun.
Is it your birthday? Today. It is. I just turned 32.
You're a liar. You are such a liar.
It's not my birthday, and I'm far from 32.
And you're far from 31.
Dude, I was 32 when I was at CrossGen, so that and now it's
I still want more CrossGen stories.
Dude, the best thing about CrossGen was I moved down to Florida. I lost a bunch of weight. I dumped my fiance at the time and started chasing women because CrossGen paid every 2 weeks. So
that sounds like such a good time, man. I wish I'd been there with you.
And I moved from a really kind of depressed part of New York State, and I moved to Tampa Bay, and there were so many women, and it was clubs and bars and single, and you know, all I had to do was make sure I got to work the next morning. It was fantastic. It was a great time, and I was pretty reserved compared to how insane it could have been. But I was already 30 by then, so so I tried to be smart about it. So,
well, this stuff it's absolutely fantastic. So this is the Anna sexy cover. So how many covers are in this campaign? There's 3 covers, is that right?
Yeah, there's cover A, which is the main. That's actually that was the first image I actually drew of all the characters like together. Like I hadn't even really done a finished piece of Death Raider until that cover. That's the second cover, and then Anna's the third cover. Now in the Midnight cover, because that's the black and white version of the book, I guess you can consider that that's another that is another book, but there's no cover to it. I wanted to just set it apart. Like it's really easy to know this is the black and white book because there's no cover to the art. It's just, you know, gray title with black cover.
Oh, that's cool.
So
okay, I have to ask you, like in the video, it's 100 pages. Is this a 100-page book?
It was 100 pages if we hit the stretch goals, because I originally really wanted, I wanted to do a 100-page story, but I had to have it for the stretch goals. But we never hit the stretch goal, so you know that part of the story will just be in volume 2.
What was the stretch goal?
The stretch goal was I did increments of, you know, it was like every 10K I'd add 10 pages, and I think it started at like 64 or 74, and you know we're so far from that it would take a crazy person to kick it into that. So
well, you never know.
Well, I was going to say, once you're are you going to carry the stretch goal over into Maine? I am. Or are you stopping? Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can still hit it.
I'm going
to still hit it.
I'm going to leave it, and I also kind of I wanted to do chapter downloads. So every month people get a chapter of the artwork free download. That was at 35K, and that really was it was supposed to be 2 things. One, I read a lot of complaints about having to wait so long for their projects. So I wanted, like, here's your update. Like, you literally are going to get a chapter a month. It was also kind of going to be that transition between crowdfunding and Marvel and DC with you get a book every 20 months or every month. So I thought if I can deliver 8 to 12 pages every month, that would be, that in between zone. And I also, because that's a new project, I wanted it to be kind of an advertisement for the project. Like people could, share around like, hey, dude, I just got the latest installment. I got, July's installment of Death Raider. This shit is awesome. This artwork keeps getting better. So that was the plan, to do all that stuff. So instead, I share pages on Twitter and stuff just to show my improvement. Because there's a double pager that's in the trailer that I pulled from the book. I don't even think I'm going to use because my artwork has kind of evolved since the some of the stuff I did in the first couple months. So,
when did you start the project?
I started drawing pages when I first started live streaming in November.
Okay.
So I've been working on pages since the fall.
Oh shit, dude! Did you see the time?
No.
Oh yeah! All right, everybody. Good night.
See you later.
All right, just cuts it.
Cut the show. Make it go dark. Go dark.
We're out of here.
Well, congratulations, awesome. Rob Hunter.
Nice. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
We got Aaron.
Yes,
I think Aaron chipped in 342.
Awesome.
Nice.
Number 342. That's fantastic.
And this is not ending tonight. This is ending tomorrow night late. So everybody, like, if you're not back in tonight, like, you got time. There's a whole nother day here. Let's get Rob to 15 and beyond. Like, this book is epic. Like, this book has not gotten the attention it deserves. Rob's doing, like, just gorgeous artwork on this. And the concept is fucking insane. Like, everybody, if you haven't looked at this campaign yet, definitely check it out tonight.
I just updated Jason. Jason, you got a couple backers too.
All right.
Hey,
you're at 16. Let me Wow, we're starting to. I got a super chat
Nice.
too. There's all of a sudden the shit just hit the fan.
Oh Christ! We
Uh-oh.
have super chats. Nobody's.
You got to read that super chat,
You
Art.
probably
Wait,
like
wait,
that
I'm
point
gonna
where
show
nobody's looked at
I'm going to
it.
show off this first. Mr. Frog G himself. You are now at 16,234, my
Nice.
friend.
Awesome. Thank you
Nice.
so much, Hale. Appreciate that. Yeah, we also have an Irene Strakowski cover and a Dan Plagle cover. So
Oh wow!
yeah,
You got some good artists.
dude, there's a murderer's row on that campaign.
Oh.
I hang out with some cool people. That's for sure.
Yeah, you do. That's I
Got
love
Matt Barr and Matt Yaki on the supplemental cover.
love Matt Yaki's colors and
Dude, Matt
Irene.
Yaki-
I'm such a fan of her artwork.
Yeah, Matt Barr and Matt Yaki killed that supplemental cover. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
And
That
now
is
we're hanging
awesome.
out with Jason, so now we're extra cool. All right, this is B.A. Turner. Sign up for the Vigilantes Creed on Indiegogo. Thank you so much for the super chat, $5. Hail, guys, any chance you could show everyone my Indiegogo project? It's an action-packed gargoyle and vigilante project. Great show, and thanks. Yeah. Can somebody find this? So it's called Vigilantes Creed. So
I've
that's
seen this online
That's
too.
the sign-up page. All right, Rob, you just got the
I'm gonna
job
go
now.
look.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look.
I was gonna say something else. Oh, you guys, if we can get, let me check everybody first. But I was thinking if we can get one more backer, I'm gonna show off a unseen page of finished black and white art.
Oh yes, that we want to see. Is my face the same color as my T-shirt?
You got to fix your contrast.
That's fine.
Chris always gives me shit about like before I go on. I'm always like trying to fix my.
Because it's
content.
20 fucking minutes every time.
It's 20 fucking. It's not 20 fucking minutes. It's like 10 minutes.
We need to see some black and white.
I'm gonna find it
Yeah.
now.
'Cause I know you're doing magic back there, Art.
I'll have
I-
it.
yeah.
I'll have it.
I pick up
There's
the old school
there's
black
no
and whites anytime I
half-assing
see
it
them.
with what Art's doing on black and white, right?
Art, I'm sharing Vigilantes Creed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm trying to find the page. I'll share if we can get one more backer in, I guess, the next 10 minutes. Hold
Let's do it.
on. Where is it? Where is it? So many things to do now. It's in the color section. I got a color section now.
You're killing it, Art.
Let's see. It's this one here. Hopefully, you guys will like this. Let me
I bet
see.
I will.
Where are you? My computer's taking forever.
Oh, the anticipation.
Oh, the
You-
well, we got to get a
you need-
backer first, so there's going to be more anticipation.
No, we
You need
a
more
backer.
RAM.
And I don't
Rob,
care.
Rob needs another backer.
Yeah, any of yeah. Well, let me check. Okay, because I didn't check before I shot my mouth off. Okay, so Superiors is at 5,745. Just
Nice.
launched yesterday. 77 backers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to hit
Killer
refresh.
first day.
See what's going on here.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You're the same. Let me check Rob real quick. I need to write down these numbers because I can never remember. Okay, so Rob's at 305. And Superior
Let's be honest. I need about 3,000 backers. That's just
tonight.
That's my
We'll
my
get it.
ego.
We
All right.
won't- yeah,
Just
let's do it.
3,000.
Let's
Just
do
three.
it.
Yeah, we
We're
can do it.
Rob's gonna blow the doors off a Ripper tonight. It's just, it's like get the word out, everybody. Let's fucking just make it happen.
I got some illegal, some black market C4 that I bought like 2 years ago.
Dude,
It's
don't
just
say
in a
this.
bucket. We can get 3,000 backers. I will.
It's like, no.
I will blow up 4 police cars.
No.
4 police cars.
Dude,
When World War III happens and the first nuke
It's-
drops, I'm like making a beeline to Rob's house because like he's fully locked
Oh,
and
no.
loaded, and it's like
Dude,
I'll be a
once ordered,
wingman.
dude, I once ordered 3,000 rounds of ammo, and fucking the ATF showed up at my house.
Oh yeah,
jeez,
that's
Yeah,
3,000 rounds.
dude, that's not
Chris,
fucking
that's
shit.
amateur.
somebody's
That's-
attention.
yeah, that's amateur hour.
They were all
I can't believe
hollow
that
points.
shit.
Rob
They were all
Scott.
hollow.
And I was in Alabama at the time. They fucking showed up at my door. I was like, "What the fuck do you want?"
I didn't think they had laws.
I was like,
"Well,
"Well, do you want
laws
3,000
down there."
rounds?" And I was like, "Who gives a fuck?"
They were all hollow point and armor piercing.
Yeah, of course.
Chris is just standing at his front door with 2 loaded guns. And like, what the fuck do you
I
guys
had a gun on
want?
my hip.
He's got a knife in his boot.
Yeah.
Like, make a move, motherfucker.
Did you flinch at him? Did you do the?
Oh,
Make
no,
a
you
move,
don't
mofo.
want-
Oh man,
No, you
that's
don't want
funny.
to
No,
do
but
the
what
lunge.
it was is initially he started talking to me about my neighbor because I had some knucklehead kids that lived, like next door. They were throwing and he asked me a few questions about them, and then he started asking me personal questions until I figured out. And then I was like, "Show me your ID," and and he flashes, and I was like, "No, show me your fucking ID." And it's fucking, it's guys like that are showing up because you fucking bought a gun or a fucking. It's unreal,
That's
Mm.
ridiculous.
Did you ask him if you were still in America?
I know this is still an American state, isn't it?
right?
It's part of the union, right?
It's
I'm
not
not,
like you
saying,
ordered.
I'm not saying I'm going to shoot anybody with these bullets,
Right.
but
Or the
Yeah.
C4 that Rob is buying,
Into the bucket.
or giving away
In the
free
bucket.
for his campaign.
Are you gonna make me tell the
I'm telling you,
story?
don't even joke about that shit. The way things are.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
well,
Are you
somebody
gonna
wants you to tell this story, Clint. So
I want to hear that.
tell your
Oh.
story, and then.
Oh
and then
yeah,
you can
yeah.
answer this.
Okay. I was going to talk about the time when I had to explain to the sheriff why I punched out my cousin when he shot at me. But no, we can talk about the who's who section.
Well, that's a setup. That's a setup. And
Wait.
you
Oh, yeah.
after
Like
the-
I'm here to sell comics.
Getting shot at by your cousin, the superior, same thing. Yeah,
I knocked the fuck out of him. Though.
they relate.
But, no, the who's who section and the superiors. So it's superiors is a big like Justice League Avengers type team, and I've got a big story, but like you don't, with the story, there's a ton of characters on these super teams, so I wanted to have a book where I could throw a ton of artwork in there. I love doing these variant covers. I love doing some of the retro stuff. I wanted to have a book where I could put some of that stuff in, but then also kind of give a backdrop on all these characters. And everybody grew up on the who's who in the 80s with Marvel, So I wanted to have like a section where I could have like go character by character, have a nice chunk of artwork, and then a little write-up of their origins, their power levels, a little back history on the stuff. I always loved that stuff when I was growing up, so I thought it'd be a great idea for a team book like this. So the Who's Who book is going to have all that stuff. It's going to have some pinups, some extra artwork, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the idea behind the Who's Who book with Superior.
And
Well, little known
everybody,
fact, I
Clint
started-
is shadow
I started-
banned.
Oh
People
yeah,
are
yeah.
asking about that.
But-
yeah.
but
he
I-
is
I-
shadow banned, so you have to search.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
I
direct
started-
link.
Direct.
I
link.
started
you
on,
have to
on
use
Who's
direct
Who.
link.
That was my first professional work. Is
Who's Who? Oh, Who's
yeah,
Who
the
art?
DC Who's Who. Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
Yeah,
cool.
DC's who? What's Marvel? Because Marvel Handbook
Universe.
is DC's who.
Yeah, Marvel
Marvel
Universe and then
Universe.
DC Who's Who. What was the first character you did in Who's Who art?
It was Wotan the Destroyer.
Wait, is Wotan the sorcerer guy? The green
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
Oh, I remember that. Did you
Yeah.
pencil name that?
yeah.
Oh,
That's awesome.
nice.
That was your first gig on.
My first gig was Who's Who, but it was the Star Trek universe.
Oh,
I was gonna say
Oh.
my first one was a Star Trek too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
cool.
I
cool.
think I did number one. Remember number one? From
I
the-
don't. It was all alphabetical, so I'm trying to think of. I did a few characters, but I think the biggest one I did was Pike. Was that the first captain of
Yeah,
the
Pike
Enterprise?
was the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I did
I don't even know
Captain
Star Trek
Pike.
that much.
Yeah, because
So-
that was the pilot, and they fired everybody and
and
kept,
redid it.
Yeah, kept the Spock. Spock was the only
Thank
character
goodness.
they brought.
I don't think it would have succeeded any other way.
No.
I saw that pilot. It's terrible.
Okay, so talk about
Yeah.
the shadow ban, Clint.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
bring it down on that.
Yeah, and so I'll preface this with this: is Indiegogo has been good to us, and I don't know that it's an actual shadow ban, but it feels like it. I launched the book yesterday. If you go on the Indiegogo comic book section, my book is nowhere to be seen in the comic book section. If you use their search engine and search the Superiors or Superiors, my book does not show up. If you search under my name, Clint Helinski, my book does not show up on Indiegogo. I launched yesterday. So you can decide either Indiegogo just doesn't have enough people to run the operation, which is a possibility. I know the San Francisco tech sector has been taking it up the ass lately, and some of these businesses are understaffed, and that's a possibility too. But either way, what matters for my campaign is the only way you can find the superiors is through a direct link that I post. And this is where Comicsgate is freaking fucking awesome. Is like I post my direct link on Twitter. I do YouTube shows like this, and you'll see that direct link and it'll take you right to the campaign. And that's really the only way you can find it. I am not getting like that. I'm not getting that general audience from Indiegogo right now, and it's my opening weekend. Like it's taking a chunk out of what I'm doing here. That just general fans on Indiegogo that are comic fans aren't gonna be able to see that. So it's usually
the fucking search engine is the most basic thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And just come the fuck on. They're taking a share of the money.
Yeah,
right. And they still benefit from it, even though it's shadow. Yeah.
Whether it's on purpose or on ineptitude, it's not ideal. It's not.
Wait,
ideal.
Are you under comics? Are you under? Did you put yours under comics?
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, I put mine under books and watches.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I launched the Absolute Trade. That's under comics. That's not shadow banned. But Frog G is shadow banned. So and Clint's been shadow banned. So Frog G's been shadow banned since like after the first month. But Absolute isn't, even though it's under comics. I'm Comicsgate. I hang out with Comicsgate. Frog G is shadow banned. Superiors is shadow. So I don't understand. Is it a CG thing, or is it, like you said, is it just ineptitude? Is it just poor staffing?
I would love to know, but I don't even know that they can answer.
Well, the thing is, either way, it seems like, as far as I'm concerned, it's a breach of contract because like your agreement is that they'll host your book and that with all that entails, algorithms, all that stuff. And so if they're not giving you everything that the platform's supposed to, then they're holding something back, and that seems like it's a breach of contract.
But I hear in their terms of service, actually, it does state they do not have to host your thing in the search engines. They do not have to show it.
I'm sure they've got their ass protected.
Terms of service, yeah.
I'm sure they've got their ass protected as a company.
Well, then, on some level, just to be transparent and more upfront, they should also have to state a reason. I know that they get to write the rules and they can do whatever they want.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they should be able to state the reasons why, because then as a person that's creatively, what they don't understand is we're putting our hard, this is sweat and blood, this is our passion. You know what I mean? Like we could all make more money probably doing other things, right? So we choose to do this. And the thing is, this is how we make a living. So when somebody starts playing these kind of, if it is an ideological game or whatever, they're messing with your livelihood, and that just really isn't cool. And if they're going to do like ban you or whatever, they should state a reason, because they should also give you the opportunity to fix it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if it's something that they do find offensive, then
Art, as you well know, I've been drawing titty books for the last 3 years.
Never banned. Nope.
All over Indiegogo, not a blink of an eye, just titty books everywhere.
Titties as far as you can
usually
see.
Successful. Titties as far as the eye could see. never, like, just even like, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. It's like, no, that like the titty books were everywhere, promoted well. And the second I do a straightforward superhero comic, boom. The hammer dropped on me. So I mean,
if you look at your page, mistake. There's no like hardcore violence. There's no like blood showing on your page. Like, you know what I mean? It's a straightforward superhero.
Well, that guy's getting his arms and legs chopped off.
Is there blood all over the place?
Oh yeah.
then okay, that could factor into it.
And then
maybe.
let me know.
But
If
that's the thing.
If that is the problem, let me
Dude,
know and I'll take it down.
You email them and they'll send you the robot response. Like, we've pushed it over to our privacy and security team, and that's all you'll ever hear. Inkspots and I went through this for like 3 weeks trying to get to them. Like, we emailed them 5 or 6 times. It's crazy. You don't get a response at all. You just get the automated one. Yeah. And we just gave up. We're like, fine, we're shadow banned. We'll just be shadow banned and just promote. So, and that's what you have to do. Unfortunately,
and that's the great thing about Comicsgate.
And it is.
There is a community there. You can have that direct link and advertise the shit out of yourself, and like you just got to put it out there, and you got to have a product that Comicsgate's going to be. I'm glad everybody appreciates the titty books, and there will. Guess what? There will be more titty books.
Well, also, you guys, I just put and I've been putting in the chat the links, so you can click on the link and go over and get superiors superiors for yourself, and that's. I was talking to my wife today about just passive aggressive behavior, and with like the internet, it's so freaking easy to be passive aggressive because you can't call anybody on it. I mean, you're not even dealing with a face, you're not even dealing with a person, so there's zero accountability as far as any kind of working the situation out. And I think this is just how the world's going to work moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is just the way things are going to be. Public service, dealing with consumer and all that kind of stuff of the past, it's all gone. Mm-hmm. What were you going to say, Chris?
Well, I mean, I can't talk about it because it has something to do with something else that I can't talk about. But I mean, but there are things where these mega companies provide zero fucking customer service on stuff, and literally, or like it's just that's it. It's a stonewall, and they do nothing for you, and then that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah, they shut it down. It's funny because I was talking to Pamela. It's like maybe a year or so before I quit DC. I left DC. I started adopting the same kind of passive aggressive behavior that they were doing to me, and the thing is, at that point you just play the bullshit game, right? It's like, I'm gonna do it, you're gonna do it, and then you never talk about it, and you just kind of passive aggressively just kind of keep doing your shit.
No one interacts face to face anymore.
No, and there's no conversation regarding it.
No,
because I remember
that nobody calls you on it, and then fucking
and you don't call them on it because you need them, and they'll probably fire you or not work with you in the future. So you never say anything. So I kind of started adopting the same rule, and it'd be just like oh, can you do these art corrections? Sure. And then you just turn it in and you never do the art corrections. And then my favorite would be like, the editor or the art director or whatever go, thanks for the art corrections. and then
you such a veteran move out of art.
And then you pretend like that you still did them, and then you just go in this whole bullshit. You know what I mean? Like nothing changes, but you just keep blowing smoke up each other's asses, and then
meanwhile it's the collapse of fucking society and civilization.
Right, exactly. But the thing is, it's like I always say, I don't make the rules. Like, I'm not in that position. I don't get to dictate terms. I don't make the rules, right? So I just play by them. So if a rule isn't playing straight, then I'll lose that game. You know what I mean? Like you end up having to kind of shift a little bit to just be in the game, And so I never compromise, my integrity or anything like that. But you find yourself kind of bending to the rule. So if you're dealing with somebody who's passive aggressive, then you just go, okay, I can do that too, Yeah.
But like what we have here though is like total customer service because
Oh, yeah.
that's what's great. Like we're constantly interacting with fans, with backers, or even professionals that are like, hey, you need to this you know, the arm looks off, change it, you know, or something like that, and we're like, okay, and then we will or not. But you know, it's up to the fans though, and their backers and their backing, and that's what determines what's good, what's not, whether they like it, and we could fix it accordingly because they could even tell us. So it's just the best way to go about something. It's
Comicsgate is way more organic. You're interacting with your fan base, and it's not like if you're working at Marvel or DC, you're working to make your editor happy so that he gives you more work, and the editor doesn't necessarily have his finger on the pulse of anything. Whereas,
no, especially today. Today it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
now it's micromanaged from the top down. So editors are just told keep this person busy.
Yeah.
Here it's like you know what your audience is, and you put your book out, and that's the stress of putting a book out is like fucking anybody gonna look at this thing. It's like is what I'm like love and I'm excited about. Is that what anybody else loves and is excited about? It's like it's like you can launch your campaign and be like, you know, wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I got 3 backers. It's like, God bless those 3 people. God bless those 3 people, but I need a couple more to come along.
But the thing is, you're always thankful, man. You're thankful.
Oh God, yes.
Every one backer you get, man, because it's kind of like it's hard fought. Like, you know, it's like you're in trench warfare. You're just kind of easing 1 inch at a time, you know, closer to your goal. And I don't know. I've always been kind of like I like the reward aspect of hard work. I'm just a weirdo like that. I like working hard and I like, you know, getting something in return. And it's almost instant. And while we're on that, I believe Death Raider, you just picked up another backer.
Hey,
and
I am a winner.
You are. Wait, hold on.
Oh,
wait,
psych.
Hold on.
I'm gonna have to put that.
Show.
Oh,
man.
You're a winner.
That's pop.
I love that T-shirt so much.
Where is it? Where's
Hey,
my rifle?
you know what, Rob? There are no winners and losers. You'll get your participation trophy in the mail.
If I can't sell that participation trophy, if I
You
can't sell that
cannot
trophy,
identify as a winner because you make the other children upset.
Identify as a winner.
Yeah, look at Chris. Chris is getting sad already.
oh, someone get him a winner T-shirt. Everybody gets a winner T-shirt.
Yeah, just Chris, do you have a YouTube channel?
I can't talk about it.
Oh man, Chris is deep in it right now.
Yeah.
He is deep in the weeds.
Chris is just going to come on the
Going on
Pontificators
and
every
it's
Wednesday
for
and
a
not
little
say
bit.
anything.
He's gonna say, I just can't talk about it.
I'm not cruise control
He's
for,
that
like,
he's
probably
that
through the
guy
summer.
like the Vietnam movies, and it's just like he's like swamp up to his neck in weeds. He's just, you know, kind of wading through. Like that's where Chris is right now.
Well, Chris is that really patient sniper.
Yeah,
You know, just
he's
wait for the
gonna
shot.
I'm in for the long haul. It's
Yeah.
He's gonna get to a point
nice.
where we're gonna ask him, and he's gonna have a big smile on his face, and he's like, "I can't talk about it, but I do have this big bucket of money."
Yeah.
So
There's gonna
He's a winner.
I mean, there could
And then I
be
won't wear that
NDAs.
shirt though.
There could be NDAs down the line, but maybe there'll be stories down the line too. You never know. You never know.
Hey, we got John Davies in the chat here. I used to work at Hack Shack Studios with him. This guy, I always say this, but it's so cool. Like, he was one of those guys that he had his phone or his iPod or whatever the hell it was, and if you were talking about music, like you'd be talking about, I don't know, like a Pink Floyd song, all of a sudden, boom, you're listening to it. Like he would just go into it, and he would be like DJ John. So we always had great music when John was in the studio. He's a really good artist too. He's all over social media, so you should go check out his stuff. What does he say? I can definitely tell the boomers in the group How dare you? Wood family, super duper radio
Motherfucker.
system, cool.
You like that?
Shots fired. Shots
Wait,
fired.
wait. Okay, so that's only two of you guys. The other two, it's.
I'm the youngest one on panel too.
No. Well,
Jason just has the oldest house.
Yeah. Oh, Art, did you wanna do you wanna share the Vigilantes Creed now?
Sure.
oh yeah.
Okay.
That was the guy
Yeah,
that
that
asked
super chat.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, super chat.
Where's
Don't
Okay.
say we never helped anybody out.
I
you
already
have
shared
it?
it.
Did you find
Where,
it?
where's
Yeah,
it
I
at?
found it and I'm
Oh,
sharing it.
Let's check
No,
it out.
you're not.
Here's the trick about having
You're
somebody
not.
help you out. Ask it.
Wait, hold on. Okay, here it is.
Art has to confirm the
Oh
share.
yeah, here we go. Nice.
Well, thank you, Rob, for keeping me on track here. Vigilantes Creed. This is the pre-launch or sign-up page. So first 100
Art,
backers. What's that?
Oh, now you're sharing it. Okay, I'm
Oh
sorry.
fuck! They get a
Oh
free
my gosh,
Corey.
you talked right over me. First
I'm
100
sorry.
backers get a free Corey Barton trading card.
Oh,
Corey is
nice.
awesome,
I love
man.
Corey Barton's art, man. That
Yeah,
dude.
Corey's good.
Yeah, you
he's
can't
a
accuse-
great
you-
artist.
Yeah, you can't accuse Corey of not working hard.
Dude,
Ooh.
Art, have you seen any of Corey Barton and Eric Ninkowski's work that they're doing together?
Eric
you would like
Ninkowski?
some of the
No.
yeah, you'd like some of the inking they're doing because they're very influenced by you guys, like I am.
Yeah, Eric is he's kind of like a '90s look, like he's got
Yeah,
that '90s look.
he's got that vibe to him too. I love his art.
Oh, this shit looks awesome.
yeah, this
Looks
looks
pretty cool.
This is legit. Classic stories of heroes and villains. I need to see that street scene. Scroll a little bit more.
Oh yeah, he's got a little Cthulhu there. Oh,
look at-
that's
Boobies.
nice art.
Oh, stop it, Rob.
Boobies and heinies.
Uh, that'd be awesome if that guy over on the right hand side was in the same pose.
This reverse. The ass and ass.
Is she trying to like get his cock out of his pants or what's?
Well, I think
She's
that's
stabbing
probably,
him.
I don't know the whole story, but like I'm interested.
yeah. And so is he. And this other guy on the right side is going, "I'm next,"
Well,
right? And then the other guy's running like, "Me too."
Well, she's like giving hand jobs out, and these guys are sitting patiently waiting, and that guy's running from the background. It's like, did you cut off the list yet, or can I still?
I'm not sure this
No.
is the plug he was looking for.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was just going to say that. I'm like, I don't think we should be.
No.
This is-
There's a knife. There's a
I
knife
might
on
not
the
be
ground.
helping, or I might be helping a ton. I don't know, but like everybody should check out this project because that art is gorgeous.
Yeah,
and-
it has
He's
like
working hard.
This has like an ascension vibe to it.
Yeah.
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 But there's a knife on the ground and they both have cut marks. She's killing them.
I don't know.
No,
She's cutting their hearts
no,
out.
no. He's been stabbed, and she's
It could
putting
be
pressure
hand
on
jobs,
it.
Rob. You don't know.
Oh my gosh!
Killing them with a hand job.
No.
Next
That's
time
why.
I see a
That's
plug
why
earlier
there's.
in the
That's
show.
why there's word balloons.
Can we play the video, please, so we can all
Okay.
get off this?
This will tell us.
beat? Latin is a scary language.
Where are my glow sticks?
No.
How's it going, everybody? Today I'd like to give you a brief synopsis behind the story of my Vigilantes Creed series, which is in its pre-launch phase on Indiegogo. So if you haven't yet, please check it out and sign up today. The link is below in the description. So as I've mentioned previously, this story is about a gargoyle and a team of vigilantes fighting terror in Detroit. Now, this gargoyle comes to be as a result of Slade Allen, a man who is at his wit's end in life, who is desperate to find purpose in life and find meaning. It's a result of him sacrificing his life in exchange for another. And this puts him on a supernatural path of vengeance and redemption. The person that he saves is a woman named Rachel Winston, who he instantly has a deep connection to, which he can't quite explain at the moment. And during the attack, and as a result of essentially losing his life, he
11
loses his
minutes.
Is that
memory.
11 minutes?
Yeah, it's 11 minutes.
Yeah, I just paused it. That's a long
Wow.
track.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't think that's a trailer. That's a synopsis. I think the trailer was at the top in the header.
Oh.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, a minute 12. Yeah,
That's a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wow, that looks incredible.
Cool.
Yeah.
The art is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that is gorgeous, gorgeous art. Like, this is a really nice looking project. I'm making jokes, but that's just because it's what I do when I'm uncomfortable.
Well, we have a link in. Thanks, Past Master Dan.
Nice.
So you guys go there, click the link, and go sign up. It doesn't cost you anything, and you will be eligible for that free Corey Barton trading card, which looks fantastic. Let's see what his Past Master art gets. Any loser? What? Looser, and we will have to pour him into that. See, that's my goal. It's always best when you just kind of numb and you just kind of melt into the bed.
Yep. You're not wrong.
Or
Well,
the floor next to the bed.
Well, you guys
Lie down.
got the proper amount of backers. Rob got one and Clint got one. So as the promise, I will show off a page of black and white.
Woohoo!
So if you guys are ready, let's do this. I hit this button. I pull this lever. I click this. I go to
Show me what
Your
you
computer
Windows.
shouldn't have levers.
Show me what
Well,
you got.
mine
His
does.
does. Yeah.
Okay. Jeez.
Old school lever on his computer.
Pull the levers. Oh, shit.
Cool started.
Cool stuff. I get the squirrels rolling.
Art's computer is gas powered with like a pole.
Wood
That's so cool.
That wow, you got an awesome colorist. Like those people. Oh wow.
Nice
It's
job.
This is some badass stuff. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow, that looks good.
God
Yeah,
damn,
so-
Art, that is gorgeous.
Thanks. Yeah, we're not messing around, you guys. I know it's been taking a little bit of time, but everything I have is going into the pages of Black and White Man versus Machine. So I am going to show more. We're going to do an update probably early next week. I'm going to show off a bunch. I'm going to call it spoiler heavy. So there's going to be 4 or 5 pages along with this color page, so you guys can see it. Without, you can study it or whatever. You can look at it stationary. And yeah, I'm going to have a big old update. And I want to thank everyone for backing it, everyone for supporting it. And most of all, at this point, giving me the time to not compromise anything. At this point, I'm so deep into it, I can't compromise it. Like every page,
No, you're not compromising anything. Like, oh my god,
every page is gonna have the best of what I have to offer. And so, also, I've gone through a couple changes. So this is not Stefani Renee. Stefani Renee is brilliant, but I found another brilliant artist, and hopefully this guy will work faster. Stefani has got some health issues, and I hope he gets better. And he's battling cancer, so I hope he's doing better. He says he's doing better. He's got the treatments and everything. So I didn't want to do it, but I think it took me like almost a month to get one page. So I gotta move forward with this book. And I'll probably work with Stefani in the future. Because he can deliver. He was the original colorist on Chrono Mechanics like 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. So I've known him for a long time, and he's really, really good, and I hope he gets better.
He's a nice dude too.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But you got to you still got to move forward. So I was lucky. I found this guy, and so we're pages into this, and I'll probably show some of those off in a bit as well. So yeah, you guys, like I said, thanks so much. This has been a blast. This was all Clint Helinski's idea, so I'm glad he mentioned it, and thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having me.
For helping out Deth Raider and Superiors. Rob's going to be closing down tomorrow, but he will be going in demand. But he still needs those numbers. They do help out. So you guys continue backing Deth Raiders.
Oh, what the? There's no S. No, it really doesn't. The initial 60 days, it sets up the budget. Sets up the color budget, everything. So
yeah. It's necessary. Like every dollar helps. Because I have done projects where they did well, but it ended up being like almost like a break even. Point when you work with the vendors, you pay them out, and then you pay shipping, and there's a lot of things that get deducted from that total, and that money goes pretty damn quick. So every extra backer we can get, we really do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So do you have anything planned for tomorrow, Rob, for your closeout?
No, I don't have anything planned. I did really kind of low keyed it. Clint has actually been.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I didn't want to put any pressure on the last couple of days because I just kind of looked at, the push, and it's going to go in demand. But I've had so much fun, like Clint and I talking about the projects and stuff.
Yeah,
yesterday and then today's been awesome. So.
Well, just know you can't over promote. You really can't.
That's the thing. That's the trick. Is when you feel like you're annoying people, then do it 100 times more.
And always remember Coca-Cola.
Show up at your house.
Coca-Cola, the most annoying brand ever, and their logo is on everything.
Yeah.
Just remember, tomorrow's Rob's birthday, so everybody back on his birthday for him.
It is.
It's Rob's birthday tomorrow.
29. I'll be 29 tomorrow.
You keep getting younger.
Yeah. Celebrate his birthday by treating yourself to Deth Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Exactly.
Benjamin Button. I'm going Benjamin Button on everybody.
I like that, Jason. Can you say that
Good
about
job, Jason.
Superiors? We need a pitch from Jason.
Superiors is great. Go back it.
Yes.
It's superior.
No lies.
There's superior work in Superiors.
Yes.
Back it today.
Back it today.
No lies were told.
Duper.
That's right.
No lies were told.
And that's Superiors with an S.
With an S. That one has an S. Deth Raider
front
has no S.
Well, it's going to be black and whites pretty soon.
Get yourself your black and whites.
Oh no!
That sounds racist.
No.
Black and white. What's wrong with you, Art?
I don't know. Whenever I get around you, Rob, it all comes out, and all the bad just pours out.
Please don't do that.
Did somebody say, please don't do that?
Don't change the title. Don't change the title of the book.
My next project will be black and white.
Just black and white.
Just a black and white.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh shit! Oh god, my eyes are watering. Okay. Did we didn't give a proper send off to Clint? Clint launched yesterday for Superiors with an S at the end, and you guys go check it out. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Killer
It's the best of all like 90s style comics. It goes beyond that. Like there's much love thrown at John Byrne, Jim Lee, all these great guys, and he pimped it on this show. There may be an Alan Davis love fest going on.
I've got some Alan Davis coming on because I'm a huge Alan Davis.
It's seeping from the pores.
Look at this. You got art of Roy like going into your delusion now, Rob.
It's my birthday's today and tomorrow.
So
You got to back Death Raider
Depends on the time zone.
today and tomorrow. Yes.
It actually just depends on how Rob feels.
How old I feel. I feel great today. I'm 29.
I'm 20.
I feel awful today. I'm 94.
I'm 94.
Oh, no.
Please, just let me just break free of this misery.
Back my book before I die.
Purgatory.
Death Spiral.
The thing I love about Rob is his optimism and his hope for the future.
Even in the worst of times, it's fantastic. Worst.
I was all I had. Oh my gosh, my wife and I talked so much today, but we were talking about I realized that there's some people that tell you like woe stories, like, oh, this happened, and then you just tune them out, right?
Yeah.
But then there's other people that can say stories that are like similar, depressing, but they say it in a humorous way or an entertaining way, and then you don't mind hearing it. And it's like I used to think like I don't want to hear anybody's woe stories, but I would love to hear Rob's. Rob's like,
if somebody can tell you their woe stories and make them funny, it's great because they make you laugh and they also make you feel better about yourself because their life is so shitty.
Thank you.
It uplifts you.
Yeah.
It uplifts you.
It kind of inspires you. So we should just do like a show, like just do the Death Spiral, and then Rob can just kind of bum us out in a comedic way.
Your misery brings me happiness. Yes.
So I was working on Wolverine pages, and mistake number 1 I did. And mistake number 2, and then I yelled at my editor.
And I threw a hammer through the window and set the garage on fire. And then my dad made me build a log cabin.
Dad rolled a log over me.
With my drunk grandma.
With my grandma. Who made me go to church every Sunday.
That's just sad.
I kind of don't want to close out. Wait. Did you say the Waz stories?
No, we can't say any stories
No, Waz is in lockdown. Waz is in lockdown.
yet.
Is that stories with an S?
Okay. Yeah.
But that's good, right? That you can't
Who the
talk
fuck
about it
knows?
at all.
It's going to be the build-up. It's going to be the build-up to Waz being
I'm suing
freed.
people that have fucking $45 billion. It's it's probably more than that, whatever the fuck it is.
Take
I
it
made
to
that
him.
arbitrary number up, and I'm sure it's way more than that.
Well, guess
Take
what?
it to
Rob
him, man.
Rob just got Chris to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that part everyone knows.
Take it to him.
Well, apparently the thing that you weren't going to tell us, you already told on another live stream. Somebody said in the chat
Oh,
I can't say anything after.
after.
But
You got the
I understand.
silent
There was a
treatment.
meeting. There was a meeting and
Yeah,
a conversation.
Well, I'm
I
sure
had
you'll
those.
hear it here first on Pontificators every Friday
or Saturday, apparently.
or Saturday, yeah, which will
Or
piss
Wednesday.
or Wednesday, and Jason's going to be a regular, right, Jason?
If I get the link, sure.
You'll get the
Oh,
link.
we're not sending
I
him
can
the
do it,
link.
you'll get the link. Welcome
if I-
aboard.
Hey, Jason, here's the link. And it's just blank.
We'll send him the link at 10.
I'll get a link to the
hours
YouTube
late.
channel. I'll get a link to the YouTube stream is what I'll get. Like, here's the link,
That's
Jason.
first initiation
Have fun.
joke.
Please
Well,
super chat and like.
Now this is becoming roast art. Like,
Oh, you shouldn't take it that way, Art.
how should I take it, Rob?
You need to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah, just like the Death Spiral stories that you're going to tell. Well, look, you got Danky Frankie. He's ready for the Death Spiral.
Oh,
It'll make you-
I will make it like the book. The book it'll take you to the highest highs and then the lowest lows. And the back of the book comes with a razor.
Oh, jeez, dude.
See, this is the stuff. This is the stuff right
It's
here.
meant for 8-year-olds.
It's not for 8-year-olds yet.
No, it'll say right
there's
on
just,
it. It
there-
said,
there's just a little printed line, your choice, underneath the razor.
Your
There you go.
choice.
it has a Surgeon General warning on it.
Frog G
Don't
is all
cut your
ages,
wrist.
everybody. No razors included. Go ahead.
No
and get back
razors,
that way.
yeah.
No.
So it's got fucking C4 and razors for kids.
Oh my god.
Razors to kids.
It'll be a dull spoon.
Dude, I just wait for my
Tape
door
to the back of the
at
book.
this point.
Does a spoon and a lighter come with it too? I mean,
No,
how
just a
far
dull
we go?
spoon to cut
Just
your,
the dull
cut your
spoon,
wrist with.
okay.
Oh my gosh. You just broke Clint. Look at poor Clint.
The razor in the back of the book is genius marketing.
Well, Clint, you know how you said earlier, you're just like, your face matches your shirt? It didn't earlier, but it is now.
It does.
You are red as a beet, man.
I might be blind, but even I can see that.
Oh, there we go. There's a death spiral story.
Just stretch goals.
Oh, yeah. Dojo Crew's got great ideas.
There you
Stretch
go.
goals, razor, and chloroform.
No.
Art is demonetized forever.
Well, you know what? The last 3 pontificators were demonetized, so we're.
Yeah, keep up with the trend, man.
What?
I think
Why
switchblades
would
would
you
be too
use-
expensive.
Why would you use
Maybe it would help
chloroform
if
on
your
yourself?
mascot wasn't wearing blackface.
See what it smells like?
No blackface.
You just take it out of the packet and go, what's chloroform smell like?
I used to always make a joke. It's like, does this smell funny? And then
Scratch and
then
sniff.
followed with like, get in the
Oh.
trunk.
Oh,
A scratch and sniff
that
chloroform sticker.
decorator cover.
Oh, that's
Chloroform
brilliant.
Trading
cover
cards.
scratch.
Trading card.
Trading cards.
Trading cards.
Oh my god! See what you see, Rob? You're bringing out the darkness. It's all of it.
It's
Pure, this
genius.
is
Oh,
pure
it's so
gold
good.
right now.
Scratch
We're
and sniff
printing money.
chloroform trading cards. It's fucking. I can see a new company already.
Hey, Chad, I like where you're going, but I think switchblades will be too expensive.
Too expensive. Too
Yes.
pricey.
Yeah.
You got to think
Yeah.
economically.
That handle would be hard to ship.
Yeah.
But you can maybe
Those
get
flat
in.
blades will fit right in a Gemini.
What you could do is have the name of the book engraved on the razor blade. Downward spiral or death spiral or
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
death raider. Cutting
That
you
would go over
deeply.
well.
But like, what is this
Make sure you
company?
put all ages on the book. Right?
Put all ages.
Fuck your
Razor
kids.
blades and chloroform trading cards, all ages.
And you know what? The most
Now we
ironic
just
thing
get
would
rid of
be
kids
is
for you.
every book will be what is it? Where you get banned from Indiegogo, except for Rob's.
Yeah.
Rob's will be the only book that they actually
Not shadow
support.
They
banned.
don't shadow ban it. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't shadow ban it.
it's
Yeah.
the only searchable. Well, then it'll do very well.
Yeah.
fantastic.
It'll
You
be
can
a best-selling
actually-
CG book.
Yeah, you can reference it with chloroform and razors and
All ages.
Sponsored
all
to you
ages.
by Gillette.
And all the
Poisonous
pages
crayons.
you can fold all the
Gillette.
pages into origami news.
Oh no!
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
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 yeah, that
you know
would
what?
be the.
Remember the
The
fold
special-
A to B?
Oh, that'd be perfect.
a metal card with a sharp edge.
Oh, well, yeah, Death Raider metal trading cards would be fantastic, but I think we got to do better than 14K to get metal
They
trading.
also set
Hit up
things like
Phoenix
rolling
Animations.
stars.
He'll quote you a price. Phoenix Animations. He did metal trading cards for Absolute too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would pull one out, but they're buried under pens. So
Sure, they are.
they're buried under porn. You got me. No, no, but yeah, Phoenix Animations. Hit up Phoenix Animations.
Phoenix,
He'll
yeah.
quote you a price. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, just know we've been trying to shut this stream down for the last half hour.
Oh, we're not ended. I thought we ended a while ago.
Is this
He thought we were
live?
live.
I didn't know this was
We're live. I didn't know that happened. Oh.
I don't.
Thanks again for doing this on Saturday, guys. I appreciate it.
Poor Jason.
It does. Hey,
What?
what?
Been sniffing
All of a
chloroform
sudden,
the
why
whole time.
does social life and we don't? Is that what you're trying to say, Waz?
Well, I usually like to do things.
Yeah.
Not any longer.
The thing about Chris is he's never going to let us live this down either. He's going to keep going. Remember that Saturday?
That Saturday was great.
Remember that death spiral right down the
That's
toilet?
how everyone went down.
Everybody went down. All right, well, we're going to close this out, man. It's 10 o'clock
It's
here,
fun.
and it's been fun. Thank you guys for all the support. Thanks for backing Death Raider and Frog G and Superiors, and thanks for all the love that you've given Black and White. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Rob Hunter, Clint Helinski, Jason Bascom, and Chris Wozniak. You guys are the best. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys make this a blast every time. And Pontificators is not moving to Saturday. We're still on Wednesday. Even though Chris really likes the day Saturday.
Art started working on the contrast on Wednesday, and he just got it all sorted out.
He just got it all worked out. Yeah. It takes me a while. Okay. So we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye.
Enjoy your
Billy
weekend.
Chat. Bye.